Tonight, Architects of Humanity, do you have Agent Smith syndrome? Like, say, what's up? Super Sidewinder, what's up, man? Good to see you. Darkest Night, my brother, good to see you, bro. Always, man. We choose to persist even if it means the death of us. We can never beat the system, the agents, but we get up over and over again rather than die on our knees. We go a step further and be the immovable object that the unstoppable force can't beat. Yeah, man. Always a pleasure, Darkest Night, man. It's been a while. Yeah, man. Do do you have Agent Smith syndrome? So that's basically, we all know that how it pops up, defense mechanism, the cultural psychological concept, which is a very deep concept, social commentary. The term is often called the Agent Smith effect, which refers to the defense mechanism that we see people have when you touch on those spots of belief, basically. So instead of, like I was saying, instead of thinking suspends belief in the same manner of how belief suspends thinking. But yeah, like the character in the Matrix programmed to fiercely protect the simulation. So when somebody has Agent Smith syndrome, they fiercely protect the belief. It describes how individuals will aggressively defend social constructs or institutional systems. We've seen that. Even when those systems don't serve their best interests, because they cannot imagine an alternative. Straight zombie. It's a confusion, and they could be considered a medical condition, mental in that sense. So if anybody looks up Agent Smith syndrome, yeah, they're crushing it with, if you or someone you know is experiencing severe behavioral and medical system, you might be thinking of Smith Magenis syndrome, SMS. This is a real distinct genetic disorder, they say. It has something to do with a small deletion on chromosome 17, causes developmental delays, distinct facial features, sleep disturbances, and behavioral issues. With all the chemicals and stuff that we see, we already know we are the experiments ongoing. It's just the reality of it. These things that they call data centers are really surveillance centers. So this is how zombified most of the population are. That data is an easier word to say than surveillance. So data center, it has a ring to it. Oh, data. Whose data do you think is going to be on there? Do you think they're doing this, for your health? And Agent Smith syndrome will come out and they'll say, well, AI and this and that. It's like, really? So you really don't think this is just tightening the cage bars, man? This is just making that prison all the more virtual. And the electronic digital ID, in my effect, in my opinion, basically, you just look at that. Just the fact that people have to be careful now for the last few years. You remember, fact checkers did not exist before 2020. Once that came out, now it's become almost normal, even though they've gotten rid of it. I think Facebook was the one that pushed that in hard, deleting like over 200,000 profiles, and then gave some of it back and try to say, oh, well, they it wasn't factual. It was just like opinions of employees. It's like, wait a second, what? But in the movie, Agent Smith syndrome is the Android malware. The Agent Smith refers to a widespread piece of mobile malware that quietly infected. Well, in real life, the Android, it's crazy, man. It disguises itself as a legitimate Google-related app, exploits unpatched systems, vulnerabilities and replaces the code of installed trusted apps like WhatsApp. That's crazy, man, with malicious versions to serve fraudulent ads for financial gain. Wow. And they even say how to fix it. Always keep your device operating system updated. Avoid downloading apps from third party or unofficial app stores, as if the app store wouldn't do it to you either, right? And run a scan with a reputable mobile antivirus app. Myself, I don't really mess with WhatsApp. I can't speak to everybody because of that. They tell me, look, man, you need to download that. I'm like, nah, man. You know, it's like, just, it is. I mean, I might eventually. I had it on my old phone and then I just never downloaded it again. It's like, I went out earlier today, like 2 hours ago, and I just felt so much better. It was about 3 hours ago without bringing my phone. It just, because I was saying to myself, I said, the day's over. It's like, I'll check it when I get back. I didn't have to lug it around in my pocket. It just felt a lot better not having my portable Agent Smith with me. Which you look at that, it's like we carry around our Agent Smith, basically. But as we go into the personality of it, somebody would think that they're individualistic, articulate, but really, Agent Smith pops out once you touch that belief. Most people can't distinguish belief from reality. They'll think that their belief is reality, which is what we spoke about a little bit on the last stream, where it was like your perception of reality is going to be stronger than what reality actually it is. You're going to actually think what you perceive to be real as real, instead of questioning it and saying, well, that's my perception of it, and it could match up with reality, but there's so many curtains that we pull back and we see the wizard behind the curtain, and then there's another curtain to pull back and another curtain, and that goes on forever. The amazing thing is that we will never see the true face of reality. We'll see a good bit of it, but not everything. And that's part of life, man. That's just what life is about. Trying to figure out, the great task in life, to find reality. That's what it is. But going into Agent Smith, the character, he's contemptuous, views humans as a virus, expressing disgust, which is hilarious. The weakness of the flesh, the individualistic ambitious, that is something. Intellectual and charismatic villainy. Remember, the hero will kill the villain to save the world. The villain will kill the world to save you. So the nihilistic part of it, he grows tired of his existence. That's some deep stuff in the Matrix too. And the resentments of jealousy and hatred toward his machine masters. So Agent Smith himself is probably the most deepest character in the Matrix. That's what I would say. Neo, Morpheus, Trinity, none of them hold any type of substance compared to Smith. Smith is busting out reality in the grill. Always there, telling it like it is. And I give him a lot of credit for creating that character. I wonder how it was created. There's that lady that tries to say she wrote the Matrix and stuff. I don't think that's true. I knew somebody that knew her, and she's done interviews on YouTube with just like regular YouTubers and stuff. And doesn't really seem like it. Somebody I knew had like a copy of her manuscript for one of them, because she also claimed to have written the Terminator, which we see that movie had a very close similarity to an Outer Limits episode. And actually they had to like give credit to that. It was so close with the Terminator and the outer. I forgot the name of the Outer Limits. It was something about soldiers going back in time. Let me see. Outer Limits episode similar uh, to Terminator. Soldier, that was the name of it. Soldier, season 2, episode 1, and Demon with a Glass Hand. Outer Limits used to get raw, man. Outer Limits definitely had some raw stuff to it. The premise was set in a desolate, war-torn future, just like Skynet, and the story follows an infantryman who is genetically bred and conditioned solely for combat. Through a time displacement beam, he's sent back to present day 1960s at that time, where he terrorizes a modern city. Another soldier from the enemy faction follows him to the past, and they face off in the present day streets. So the gritty laser lit war sequences, the future concept, and the ruthless, unstoppable killing machine being dropped into modern civilization mirror the opening act of the original Terminator film. Like when he comes into that ball, that sphere, like that time type of time travel sphere. And the Terminator, I give him a lot of credit for that. Demon with a Glass Hand was a little different. Trent, the man, wakes up with no memory, pursued by shadow alien invaders, and his left hand is made of glass and serves as a computer, guiding his actions as he tries to uncover his identity to save humanity. And that's crazy because he's got the glass hand, which is a computer, like a computerized hand. And I think he's looking for like the fingers, like the last two fingers or something like that. Pretty. Outer Limits, man, and Twilight Zone and One Step Beyond had some very deep stuff from back then. And then, as we see, The Matrix, the Agent Smith syndrome, just takes it to a next level. Oh, a lot of films we can look through and we see that they do point toward real things in society. They Live being a very, very prominent one. The Believers, I'm glad Mr. X got to see that. The Believers is, I mean, that's a raw film, man. That's getting into, they killing chickens in there, man. You talking about some definitely something that could be related to today. The Dead Zone, that's another one. Christopher Walken, straight psychopath, looking like straight jacket. And he was really good in that. In The Dead Zone, he was good in King of New York too. That was actually pretty good, but The Dead Zone was really where it was at, where he would get those flashes, kind of like Frailty. Frailty from 2001, I have to admit, man, that movie, that's up there on my list, man. If you get a chance to check Frailty, Bill Paxton, Matthew McConaughey, and Otis. Otis is probably one of my favorite characters in that movie. But the movie, even though it has religious connotations, it's not really about that. It's about what you thought to be true and what was at the end. You start to be like, wow, man, this was deep. This was deep. Frailty, Gattaca, that's another one. Gattaca, yeah, the level, no, very minimal special effects was needed with that. And that's how Twilight Zone and many others were. It's like the thought, the thinking, the mind. Now, when you look at, I can't look at them, but like a lot of the superhero ones, man, it's so sped up, flashy trash. That's basically what it is. Even the Transformers, man, they made it so like complicated. And they didn't really, they should have kept that sound from the cartoons. That sound was, that was it, man. But that movie again has a weird undertone. We already know with Transformers, more than meets the eye. And then what was the other one? Dark Side of the Moon. Dark Side of the Moon. It's like, what do you know, right? Transform the tranny formers. It's like we live in a time where you just don't know. You just don't know. And nothing against people who want to walk that route. Hey, it's like Lou Reed said in his song, "Hey boys, take a walk on the wild side." That's some crazy stuff. And then what was the Kinks? They sang Lola. We were talking about that one too. That was a deep one. And if you talk about this stuff, anything we talk about, that's why I called it, do you have Agent Smith syndrome? Because if we have to watch ourselves when Agent Smith comes out of us, it's as if we all have a little bit of Agent Smith. Some of us have banished it the way Neo did when he went inside of it and exposed Agent Smith. But Agent Smith still lives, man. Agent Smith is very resilient. He'll pop up at the least expected times, and you got to catch that behavior to say, man, am I Agent Smithing or not? So like with the dating methods that we showed with Mount St. Helens and stuff, that's a big one that pulls out the Agent Smith in people. When you show them the stuff that I showed, like with the bent rock, showing that this had to happen when rock was soft, the Mount St. Helens showing that, look, this happened within months. Just the strata happened within months. It's like, what? And then 2 years later, Ash made another one on top. Agent Smith will pop out. They'll pop out with millions of years. They could see this. And then they'll look at the Grand Canyon and say, well, they said it took millions of years and the Colorado River, slowly carved that. It's like, you got an example right here, empirical science, polystrata fossils, trees solidified in layers. But Agent Smith will pop out to defend that. If you tell them that government is a fiction that creates another fake character called authority, which creates fake laws, Agent Smith will pop out. The thing we looked at with Sage Wall, this wall trying to tell us this is natural. Agent Smith will pop out. No, this is a natural wall. Why? Because the geologist said it. Yeah, this is natural, right? It's like you could look at the bottom part of that and say, well, wait a second. So Agent Smith syndrome prevents us. It protects the status quo. And to catch that behavior is a very high level of intelligence. When you look at yourself, or why did I just do that? Why am I acting in this way? That when you can observe your own behavior, that's one of the highest levels of intelligence. The ability to learn from watching yourself and your reactions and improve upon that. So that kind of minimizes any Agent Smith stuff. Like when we look at the checkerboard here, and you look at it into the squares are exactly square. The lines are exactly straight. But then as you add something in, you see it look bent. But it is the same straight lines. It's the same exact graph as this one. But yeah. Mr. X, what's up, man? Good to see you.
Good to see you, MD. Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Agent Smith, because you brought it up many times before, but I'm glad you keep bringing it up because it gets me to think back and realize some certain things about that movie that I didn't see before. And one thing about it was in the movie The Matrix, that Agent Smith, he would go into people's bodies. And I think that's an important point. Like, Agent Smith is something that can possess a person. More that it's not necessarily a physical person itself, but it's more of a spiritual entity and metaphysical presence that can get into you. And because, like I said, you see the Agent Smith in people. So it's like the Agent Smith just comes in and takes over and possesses people. And you saw that in the Matrix movie. And I think that's the way it is in real life. That's the whole plan. It's like the people at the top, they know how to manipulate the masses so that the masses do the work for them in a way. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, really. And there's multiple Agent Smiths. That's what I liked about the movie when they broke out hundreds of Agent Smiths, because like when he's being chased and Agent Smith will just come out of a person that's closer to him. And it just shows you that the it can infect anyone. It can pop up if we don't think. Yeah, that's the only thing that holds it back is thinking.
I mean, think about it. What are spies? You know, they're not like the 007 characters from the novel. They're probably just people who are part of the society who can be paid, bought and paid for, and give up secrets. Those are
Yeah,
the and Smith is just the regular person who will sell you out in a heartbeat to the enemy. You know.
yeah. They say regular people see through eyes, kings see through spies.
Yeah.
And in everybody's circle, it's like, yeah, we got to be careful with that. We see it with even on the panel, the shows. People can change,
Hmm.
and yeah, it's really trying to detect when that Agent Smith pops up.
And that's why I think that getting out of the dating venue for you, I think, was the best thing you could have done for yourself. Because I think that was taking a toll on you mentally, personally, from my perspective, from coming on the streams. I could sort of tell it was just wearing on you, dealing
Hmm.
with characters. But you can correct me if I'm wrong.
No, it definitely, yeah, takes its toll seriously because you're dealing. It's like being in an asylum. It's like
Hmm.
working in a nut house,
It
and
is.
just yeah, every day you're dealing with that. It's
Now
like,
you feel like
man.
dealing with more level headed people, even though you may not agree with them on certain subjects, at least they can be level headed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. The mind, what's up, man? How you doing?
Good. I heard you talking. I always like to be a part of the conversations if I could, just because good company. I mean, I think I'm in good company, so I try to. I would just like to be here.
Absolutely.
I
Like having you here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was thinking about some stuff. It's kind of we could talk about later, but in regards to the Agent Smith thing, I definitely have always had an interest in that character, just to a certain extent, because I saw some film theories talking about how they were saying like he was actually the one that was supposed to like disrupt the system, because Neo basically was like going along with the system. He was actually being manipulated to be a part of the system, but Agent Smith, he was actually trying to just like disrupt the whole thing and take it over. So I think, and that's why the architect was like, hey, Neo, you need to help me out here because this guy is, well, he didn't say that directly, but that was the whole issue. Like, Agent Smith was corrupting the whole system, and the architect needed Neo to help him fight Agent Smith. So I think in reality, Agent Smith supposedly, from a film theory I saw, and I'm just regurgitating what I've heard before, is that he was the one who was supposed to like disrupt the whole system. So
Mhm.
him and that one character B166ER, that was also in the Animatrix. He was like the first robot to rebel against his human counterparts.
Mhm.
So I think that, yeah, has, if I find it really interesting because I feel like they talk about like the solutions that are supposed to happen for us, like that we're supposed to do, and then they flip it. So it's just like, okay, the bad guy is actually the hero, and he's doing all the stuff that we should do. So yeah, I don't know. It's real complicated when you think about the mind manipulation that happens with all of these movies and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of it, man. What was the other thought you had? Was something different?
Okay, the other one was regarding like a different way of making it an economy. Because I was thinking, I saw this chick. She was talking about the perfect notebook, and she bought like a $50 drawing pad, and it's basically paper pieces of paper that are optimized for the drawing experience. So it's nothing like technologically fancy or anything, but it's just a premium drawing sketch pad. Yeah, regular sketch pad. So I saw that and I was like, huh, I just took it to the extreme. So I was thinking, I would like to make my own personalizable drawing sketch pad, like a notepad, but there would be some caveats. So the paper could be interchangeable. Like there would be little threads so that uh, you can like interchange the papers in the notebook. So you could have different types of paper, because normally if you buy a notebook, it comes with whatever paper it comes with, and you have the spiral, like the clip-on metal things that you can use But I wanted to make a premium version of some art supplies, and I came to the conclusion that this could be connected to some kind of like digital software. Like if you buy the notepad, you have access to some digital software, and each page is kind of like I want to say like a piece of currency, basically. Like there's this authentication process for each page that you have, and you can upload it. And basically, this hasn't been done yet when it comes to creativity and artists. There's not one place, like one hub. If you want to draw a picture, you can convert that picture into, let's say, a MP4 file. Because if you're like working on animations, you have more than one picture. You want to convert it into MP4 file. You want to turn it into an embroidering machine, like an embroidering pattern for, an embroidering machine. Or like if you want to do a laser engraver, they don't have one place where you can have your art, upload it, and then export the file to literally any creative platform. So I think there's only like 10 at the most different uh, exporting formats that we would really need to try to focus on in order to cover the majority of the what are those things called? Like the fields or the creative things. I'm not thinking of the word right now. But yeah, I was thinking like that would be a thing. We could start a whole economy, a digital economy, and connect this to like some NFT thing where literally you draw a picture, you upload it, and you have access to, the ability to convert that into whatever you want, and you can make money off of it. And it would be like, you would be able to. You don't have to opt into the whole like putting in your information, but if you want to get paid, I mean I think it would be kind of hard, I think, to figure out how to pay people without having some type of like, you know, place to send the money to. And then typically that requires some type of identification, right? So I do think there could be a process where you could build up money, and whenever you decide to, if you want to, I put your credit card information, then you could start getting paid. But that's it. That was my idea. Make a sketchbook that you could draw in it, and it streamlines the creation process. So instead of you having to make an account for cryptocurrency, for an NFT, for a laser engraving software, and then convert those files over to whatever thing you want, it would just automatically be like a streamlined process. And I think an economy could be built off of that. So that's it. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's a deep idea. Mr. X, do you have anything or?
No. Just listening in right now. Yeah.
Yeah, creation is where it's at, man. It's when we look at it, this is how a lot of these guys became more than just financially independent. They made enough money to make other people financially independent. So that's a big part of creating income too. If you can create enough to where you can help other people as well, and now you're really building something. But yeah, so the digital application, paper is slowly but surely becoming less used. And as much as I still like to write down a little bit of stuff, I mean, when I write for the book, it's always typing. I used to write stuff. I do have older stuff that I've written out, but then, going through that, I mean, that is a process. I have stuff that I've written that I'm probably never going to get to. And it's written on paper, and then, you have to decipher through your handwriting, and you ultimately have to type it, and it's just now even that I've noticed is becoming obsolete because of the audiobooks. People just want to listen to something. And Scribe and I were talking, and he was saying something about music. It's hitting music too. So AI is in there with music. We have the AI with the writing, the art. I mean, it's changing very quickly. and who knows? We might be able to figure out the direction with these surveillance centers, what I would call these Agent Smith centers,
Mhm.
that people, if you look up some of the videos that people have about the complaints that people have with AI centers being in their town,
Mm.
making the hum. I don't know if you've ever seen videos about that.
Yep. No, I think you showed it one time. I think you showed it on one of your streams. Is that correct? The humming.
I'm not sure if I showed the data center. I could have, but it's like they have some from like within the last year, and I
Hmm.
mean they're really concerning. They're
It,
very concerning actually, because there's towns in Texas where people are claiming to constantly be affected by this. And one guy, he actually went deep and started to show how this affects people's health.
wow.
Yeah, yeah, the hum, the low frequency that is almost inaudible, but it is a background sound.
Mm. But you know the scary part of it? I was watching a video, not a video, actually, it was on TV last night on CNN, and it was about the dangers of AI. And this one woman was talking to, she was basically looking in the mirror, but it wasn't a mirror, it was an AI image of herself, but it looked like a mirror, you know? And she
Mhm.
was having a conversation basically with herself, but it was an AI. And it's like, it's basically what we're seeing right now is AI is just going to be no different than the way we're talking right now. And, you know, you think they're generating information on us right now, data farming, but it's going to take it to a whole different level when people have relationships with AI, like, you know, our conversations like we're having. It's really going to know everything about everybody. I mean, that is the ultimate Agent Smith right there, an AI version that you think is human, that you can't even tell if it's human or not, but you may get involved and have good conversations and admit everything, your deepest, darkest secrets. So,
Mhm.
you know, that's where we're
Yeah,
headed.
yeah. AI is really you have people that have been having relationship with computer programs for a while now. I mean,
But it'll be the next level. It'll be the next level where it'll feel like the way we're talking right now, basically.
yeah.
Okay, I want to add this. This isn't exactly the same, but it's kind of similar. I
Hmm.
have been in the debate space for years now, like at least 5 years, right? And I have, I guess, had like become a, what is that word called? Infamous. Like people know me and they're just like, oh, this guy, this mushroom computer, like time dimension jumping guy, right? And I have had issues with people where they will get like females to try to for me to interact with, and then kind of do the same thing you're saying, like extract information, like you were saying earlier with the whole
Yeah.
like spies. That
Mm.
that I have had an issue with that at least I would say twice in my 33 years of being on the internet.
Mhm.
That's it. Yeah.
You mean
You
you trusted somebody and gave more information than you should have? Is that what you're saying?
No, no. Where there was a group of people who were telling a female to interact with me, and then I will interact with her, and I guess because I'm not like you know saying more than I normally say, which is me just being myself. They just completely are just like, okay, uh, we're done with this guy. Like he, don't worry about him. He's not giving up any information. I've literally heard in the past where there was like a couple of people in the background talking, and I was like, "Hey, who was that?" And they're just like, "Oh, it's nobody. It's just the computer." Blah blah. Blah. It's a co-host. Yeah, yeah, and it's weird because I noticed like the co-host to another show that she was on would back her up, but after back her up with her lies. But after they got into like a personal disagreement, then that co-host was just like, "Yeah, I don't know what she's talking about. I don't know who she's talking to. That wasn't me." Blah blah blah. And I was just like, "This is weird," because before you were like defending everything she was doing and acting like I don't know, like she knew what was going on, and then all of a sudden it was just like a stranger. So yeah, I don't know. It's more of drama than anything. On the face when you look at it from face value. Okay, I'm done.
I'm just saying, like, AI is. This is what I see happening. I'm not saying I like it, but it's just we're gonna give up. People are just end up giving up all the everything about them. It's gonna know so much about us at such a different level now. It'll know what we're thinking at this. It'll be able to figure out what we're thinking at this point.
Yeah, it's already getting to that point where it doesn't even need to directly interact with you. They're able to like see what you're doing using what are those things called? The the routers, the internet routers. Like they can do this whole Batman like
Hmm.
uh e- what is that thing called where the bats like use sonar to like see where people are at. They can
Hmm.
do that. Yeah, they can do that with our internet routers. I mean, they're figuring out how our electromagnetic brain waves using AI is like directly correlating to brain states. So they're figuring out a
Hmm.
lot of stuff that we thought wouldn't be possible. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. You said like one of those shows banned you or something? I think the other
Yeah,
day.
yeah. Finding Gnosis, literally, a chick on the show, she banned me from being on there. So yeah, I'm not even allowed she to be on there now.
Wow, that's crazy. I don't go back on that show. They very disingenuous. Some of the stuff that the host did. Nothing against him. It's just to say, you know what? And a lot of people are connected with him. I've noticed you know, it's like when people show you who they are, believe them. And it's like, yeah, I just figure, other guys that are associated with him are still cool. But yeah, that show itself, wow, I'm surprised they banned you, man. That's crazy. What was it? Just something you said, or was it just them being overly protective or something?
Well, okay, so the thing was, the guy wasn't there at the time. What's his name? Finding Gnosis, the
Yeah,
main.
DNW, I think is
Yeah,
what it is. Yeah.
yeah. He was somewhere else, and I was like, "Hey, where are you at?" Like, and the host who the person who he put in charge, which was a female host, she just kept on kicking me out of the studio. So I wasn't even allowed to go up at all. And
Wow.
and then I was like, "Hey, MD, are you gonna let me go up, or are you just gonna be kicking me out of the studio?" And he posted the link again for me to join the thing in the YouTube chat. So I was like, okay, he's here. He could see me. He could hear me. And I went up and I was like, okay, I'm in the back chat. I'm waiting. And I got kicked again. So when I went back up, I was like, MD, don't tell me that you're turning into this person's B because she keeps on banning me, and I'm asking you what's going on, and I'm just getting ignored over here. Like, am I just is that what's gonna happen? And after I said that, she just banned me, and she was like, "Oh, I don't allow anyone to call me a B, and that's not cool. That's disrespectful." I was like, I wasn't even talking to you. I was talking to DMW, asking him if he's being your B because literally every she, and that's what I was saying. I think she's the actual person I was saying. I think was not. I don't think was actually talking to other people, uh, and saying that there was nobody there, and literally changed her whole accent. Like she was sounding Australian, and then she sounded like straight up American. And I was like, "Hey, why? I don't know if you knew this or not, but your camera was still on, and the audio and stuff was on. And why did you sound like a straight up American? Like, what happened to your accent?" And she was like, "Oh, it's because I watch American shows, and sometimes I sound American." And I was like, really? Like, what the fuck? I never heard you sound like that ever. And then your excuse is because you watch American shows. Like, she wasn't even denying that she had an American accent. And
Mm,
and yeah, that's it. So
yeah.
she's the same person who blocked me, and she was just like, telling everybody that I was calling her a B. I was like, no, I never called you that. I was calling DMW that, and that was kind of it.
Is this the show Social Experimentalist? Is that her?
I don't know. I
Oh,
mean,
Her name is what's it called? Christine Sun. That's what she goes by on there.
they got a lot of different people. They try to, I think it's like a big network of atheists and stuff like that.
Oh, atheism.
Yeah,
And
Not
transgenders and
atheists,
stuff too.
obviously. They're saying finding gnosis. Come on, they're saying they're
yeah,
spiritual. You know, I know what they really are. You know, because
yeah.
Satan.
They're not. Yeah, a couple of the people came over. I think Sage and Confused was from there, and
Oh,
but Sage, I think, is kind of on the he has a different outlook. And when he said the thing about who was it, the lady that wrote Harry Potter,
mhm.
so she made a comment, and the Agent Smith came out, and he has a totally different thought process about her. And it's like, I wouldn't let, I mean, I look at it as life's too short to even care about what somebody else thinks about. It's like, it's just like there's so much shows on the internet. So actually, in a way, you'll see it that she did you a favor. It's like,
Yeah, it wasn't that good of a show, anyways.
yeah, you see that it's like, hey, there's no sense to even, it did something that said, hey, you know what, you don't need to bother with that. And things work out like that. Like, I've been on certain shows, and they didn't throw me out, but I would leave. Like, they would start just
But it's not even her show, and it's fucking, oh, I said that right. It's messed up because we were in a whole nother Mandela group before any of this, and she got kicked out of that group completely. Like, everyone blocked her and banned her because she was over here trying to do the same thing, like get rid of specific people because she wanted to be like the center of attention or whatever. And I guess she was actually had like feelings for another person on there, and she didn't want him to be going up on stage when she's on stage. Yeah, that's it. So she ended up like completely trying to just going off the rails and telling the moderator, like, you need to ban him, you need to get him out of here, blah blah. So
I think
since yeah,
some shows, they have like Scribe, he's the co-host, like, as far as like legitimate with StreamYard. When he's not here, Mr. X helps co-host the show, but Scribe can start and stop the show. He can, so like if I'm tired and he hops on, I could always leave, and then he can end the show.
yeah,
They have a lot of that. Like, there's a lot of other streams where they give people that seat. They
yeah,
call it a seat. Yeah. On
yeah. But this is the thing though, and this is why I think she's an agent, because literally, I've been in the Mandela community for
Mhm.
since it started, since like 2016, and she was able to get into these circles that literally, I don't know if this is a racist thing, because I have said this before. It was like, you don't in the Mandela mainstream Mandela community, or mainstream media, you don't literally see a lot of like Mexicans or blacks talking about the Mandela effect.
Hmm.
Like, literally, that's a strategic thing that's done, and I don't know what it is, if it's a cultural thing or what, but I have been excluded from every community when it comes to the Mandela thing. Like, they will be nice and be like, okay, like the most they will have is pity for me, and they'll be respectful, and they'll be nice and stuff. But when it comes to like an inner circle, like I am not allowed in the inner circle. I was never allowed to be like given a wrench, and it's not even a big thing. I never even liked wrenches, but that just shows like a level of trust when it comes to who we have around and stuff. And every circle that I've been in, this person has been able to uh, become a co-host of every single show that I've been a part of, even though literally I've known them longer and they're less willing to trust me. And she had their phone numbers, like their personal phone numbers and stuff. And I was like, how does this work? Like, literally, I've been feeling so isolated my whole life. And then there's these people who are having these same experiences that I thought would bring us closer together. And still, it's weird because there's these like this stuff going on in the background where there's these other people who have closer connections for whatever reason. And I was like, yo, I don't know. I really don't know what to think, because I thought I was like, in a place where we all were trying to figure out what was going on, and on the same page, and in reality, there's ulterior motives. There are agendas. There are secret groups doing things and acting like they're not, and that happens a lot. And literally, I see it. I see it when, and I can recognize it in the interactions between the people. Like that's it. That's all I got.
Mhm. I think it was something with the Mandela effect. A black lady wrote a book about it, I think. But Philip K. Dick, I think, was it was something with him that he talked about it too. I forgot her name, but yeah, they credited something with it. But yeah, I wouldn't even like. Yeah, it's no biggie, man. It's like, you look at it. I've seen that in other fields where I would notice one person would always be a wrench on all of these different platforms, and probably an agent, because there are a lot of agents that infiltrate the shows that are paid to be on shows to disrupt things,
Yep, and that's what she did. That's what she liked to do. Like,
to gatekeep, so it's like,
yeah,
and
when she
then,
started talking about certain things, then she was trying to like move the conversation somewhere else.
yeah, some of them, they just, yeah, Agent Smith,
Each other in personal life too. You don't know what you're walking into sometimes.
yeah, yeah. The Agent Smith effect is real. I mean, it's a lot of shows like that I've noticed on YouTube, a lot of live shows. When I was on there, I think I still got some clips from it. 30, 40 minutes, I never got an answer to what kind of bacteria did this bacteria change into? What was the name of it? And what was the name of the one that it changed into? And I've noticed that whole evolutionary thing, it's really a psyop. The theory of evolution is like very psyopish. There was a lecture at this bookstore, and the lady was talking about like natural formations in New York, like uh, habitats and stuff like that. So I figured she was talk about like upstate New York because there's a lot of nature. And the whole thing was, I left early because she was just, it was all, the tectonic plates and 200 million years ago. Once she came in with the fairy tale of the 350 million years ago, and then it was separating, and this is why New York, the Adirondack Mountains, were forming. And I'm like, okay, great, but the timeline, they're making stuff up. And that gatekeeping Agent Smith effect with evolution is I mean, it's deep. It's everywhere. It is. You get people that'll say, well, I do believe that, this part of it is true. And I'm like, really? I'm like, the more you look into it, the more you see that it's either called something else like adaptation, which is not evolution, it's adaptation. Uh, it or it's a lie, so, and a lot of people don't know how to break it down. Like the guy that was on last night, when he said he heard me on I think it was on Ethics Stream, when that guy came on and started attacking, which was on our show a long time ago, Sims. I was surprised because he realized how he goes, yeah, I was sounding very scientific when I was presenting the evidence and explaining it. But then, like the name of the stream today, the Agent Smith syndrome, the Agent Smith effect, it comes out of a person and they automatically defend without thinking their belief. And the evolution belief is deep. It's real deep. I mean, people wholeheartedly believe that the arrogance of believing, the arrogance. Um, Alexis says, why does Agent Smith instantly come out when you say don't vote? And that's actually
Good one.
a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah, man. That's the strength of the belief, man. The voting, when I hear people that are voting, or people that actually think that their vote got Trump into office or Biden into office, it's like you already know there's not much you can say to that person.
Right.
Yeah, it's very, very hard
And what's really zombie is if you think that taking out Trump is somehow going to change the system. It's like you're really in la la land then.
It's crazy.
I can't talk to you then. If you really think
Yeah.
that's the power structure, that's the face. That's the like the Wizard of Oz. You know, the
Mhm.
man behind the curtain's hidden. You
It's
know,
kind of sad when your whole family and everyone around you is like
Oh,
brainwashed. How are
yeah.
you supposed to depend on somebody when they're easily manipulated by everything?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't. You just got to accept what it is. We got Denizen X here. I don't know if you've been here before. Denizen X, are you there? Um, Denizen X Live. Can you hear me? All right.
Be live.
Yeah. He's back. Well, I brought him on. He's on stage. I think well, let me see. Oh, are you on stage?
Now I'm on.
Oh, sorry about that. My apologies.
No worries.
Were you on here before? You look familiar, the name. Or this is the first no?
I think this is my first time, but I'm not sure. I am sub to your channel.
Oh, all right.
Welcome aboard.
How did you hear about us?
I don't remember.
Okay. Anything on your mind about the subject or
I haven't been listening. I just saw you were live, jumped in, heard a few statements that were coherent and thoughtful, and thought, well, that's a change of pace, and thought I'd jump right in. Before I got here, when I saw the title, I was going to ask you what Agent Smith syndrome is, but I don't want to change the subject if you guys are in a
no, that's
in a groove.
Yeah, no, it's the topic, so that's cool. You've seen that movie, The Matrix, right?
Oh yes, sir.
Yeah, so Agent Smith is the Agent Smith effect is when you speak to someone in real life and you touch upon something that they believe in, but it's not necessarily true. And the Agent Smith will come out to defend that belief. So corruption in government, somebody might say, well, it's not really corruption, or it's only one side of the government that's corrupt, when we know that it's just all corrupt.
You have to understand, Neo. Some of these people are not ready to be unplugged.
Yeah,
and they will defend the system.
Yep, the Agent Smith will come out of them. They will defend it. They'll defend it wholeheartedly. So yeah, Agent Smith effect or Agent Smith syndrome that's one way that we see it.
I like it.
Yeah. It's I forgot who had coined it a while ago. It was in a meme many years. I mean, people have taken stuff from the Matrix and applied it to real life, which a lot of movies do that. A lot of movies have great lessons they could teach us in life. They Live was a great movie that showed you can look through the illusion and see what certain advertisements are actually saying to your subliminal mind. Agent Smith is more of a direct conversation type of thing. You can see it when they interview political supporters, people in certain religious establishments, and that includes the evolution religion, like very much so too, because that one is serious because people don't think they're religious. They don't think they're believing in something. They think that what they've been told is actually true without thinking about it. Like, when I was just talking about the dating process and stuff like that, anybody can look it up. I saw a little bit of a conversation between that girl, Gutsick Gibbon, Erica, and Michael Cremo, and she was, showing the skulls of different apes and humans and saying, oh, this is a progression, look, this is transitioning into that. And I'm like, this is so like incorrect, but the Agent Smith is taking her over fully, just like it has all the evolutionists on YouTube and universities and other platforms. People are starting to see, but the problem is there are a lot of religious people that claim that because evolution is not scientific and it's false, that it proves their religion to be true, which is that is again falling right back into something that's a belief instead of understanding that we don't know. As we look further, we start to get more questions. It gets more mysterious. So yeah, that gets pretty deep. Mr. X, brother, thank you for the support. He says, MD, doing great work, man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. And I mean it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, if you have anything on this, we've got Dennis in here who, did you have any thoughts on The Matrix or thoughts on any movies that you might think were really deep?
Uh, yeah, I can talk all day about this. It's it's kind of weird to hear people sounding like me. No offense or anything, but I think you touched upon some briefly the dynamic of people having beliefs, but also without thinking about them. I think this is a core component to the Agent X reaction, because first, what these people are suffering from is the brainwashing, and these beliefs are layered into their education, right? And so it becomes a part of their identity. That way, when you question their beliefs, you're actually questioning their very identity, threatening their existence. And that, compounded with the fact that they don't actually have any facts or evidence, and they haven't challenged their own beliefs or questioned them or thought about them, that insecurity is what motivates the intensity of the reaction. And I think of the Matrix as like a philosophical guide to life. I know that it sounds naive saying that out loud, but I truly do maybe even put more stock into it than I should. And it reminds me of when I was younger and I first read about Jean Baudrillard's theories, and I found them laughable, and I thought he was a crackpot. And now I am convinced that he was right, and we live in hyperrealism now, where symbolism is literally more real than reality, and people merely have like a superficial relationship with their own thoughts, feelings, beliefs. Um, the programming is so advanced at this point, it doesn't really even take much. You know, you can flash a sign or a word or a phrase and get a myriad of economic, physical, emotional responses out of a human being.
That's deep, man. Yeah, it's real deep. Alexis, brother, thank you for the support, bro. I appreciate it, man. Alexis says, why people completely change when Agent Smith comes out. You can have a perfectly calm friend. Then you mention something that brings it out, and they become extremely angry. Does Agent Smith actually exist like in the movie? I honestly think he does. Agent Smith is some type of psychological implant that could exist. Well, it seems to exist in many, many people. And the only thing that can hold it back is observing our behavior, even thinking about thoughts before we verbalize them. So like when you're saying that these people completely change when Agent Smith comes out, it's as if now you're not talking to them, or the part that you were talking to before Agent Smith came out was not real. That was the fake part, actually. So it's actually Agent Smith in disguise, because like you said, perfectly calm friend, you mention that thing that brings it out, and they become extremely angry. So it's one of the two basic things we can see. It's either that the Agent Smith came out, or the mask of the perfectly calm friend dropped off. It melted away, and you saw the real thing behind that calmness, which was Agent Smith. So it's one of the two. Mostly we see that a lot of people, it can go either way now that I think about it, because we do see some people that are straight up plants, man. And we realize like, wow, this person was Agent Smith in disguise. And then some people might be able to analyze their behavior and change it. And you say, okay, this person is coming around. Alexis, brother, thank you for the support, bro. He says, is Agent Smith a type of demon or is it truly AI? That's a deep, deep question, man.
How about both? How about both?
It does have the both factor to it. It's kind of a demonic AI. I wonder, could it be demonic AI and there could be non-demonic AI?
So I definitely think so.
Or like how Alexis is saying here, in the AI world, we see Agent Smith. In the real world, it could be demonic, actually, like a
Yes.
possession.
Yes.
That's a very good, yeah.
Well,
That's why we
yeah,
have
I would have
level.
to say I think the Agent Smith thing is literally just like a certain pattern and a certain way of thinking. And yeah, so if you fall into a certain pattern, then you will end up acting and being a vessel for this thing that we call Agent Smith. It's just
But
a certain way of believing, a certain way of acting, a certain way of responding. It's programming.
But how do they program? Do they program basically on a physical level, or is there a metaphysical element involved in the programming? That's the question that the people at the higher ups know the truth, and they know how to control people, not necessarily through physical means, but through mental, through non-physical means.
Yeah.
I think it's natural and it's inherent. We create our own programming systems. It's a part of us. It's a part of our evolution, for lack of a better word. I, I don't necessarily
Mhm.
think it's a demon, maybe a daemon, in that it's built into our education. So, and the way they program you is through media, through nationalism, through economics. You're, if you think of like the human brain as a sponge, especially when you're an infant, most of the dogma and the Agent Smith way of thinking is programmed into you by your own parents. You don't even have to get out into the world before you start receiving the program. You download your first copy from your parents unwittingly. They program you to be just like them and to adhere to the system. And then it starts from there. And we have a very strange, as Americans at least, we have a very strange way of raising our children and teaching them about their relationship with reality. It starts off with lying, with Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy, and adults will argue for the protection of these lies and deceit and conflate it with innocence. That a child loses its innocence when it, learns just simple facts about its reality, like mom and dad bought you this present and there is no Santa Claus. I think we are all Agent Smith. Just when you, become no longer dependent on the system to the extent to which you'll defend it with fervor, then you stop acting that way. But I think there's an Agent Smith in all of us because it's part of who we are as human beings. I don't believe in evolution per se. It has some holes in it, but I do.
Has a lot of holes. A lot.
Yeah, I do see that we are primates. It seems to be a valid category.
Why is it
And
a category? From what
say again.
Why would it be a valid category that we're primates?
Just the way we interact with our environment, standing upright, using complex language, the ability to use tools, um, the ability for self recognition. which I think is referred to as conscientiousness.
That's metaphysical.
Uh,
You get into the metaphysical realm, and you're leaving science because conscientiousness. I mean, we can't measure that in a lab. We can't
no,
test.
I just mean our ability to recognize ourselves in a mirror. Without getting too deep into the metaphysical aspects, just that ability that separates us from some of the other species. Like, if I look in a mirror, I can recognize that it's me and not a demon that is perfectly reflecting me in an alternate universe. And then if you were to come up behind me and put your hand on my shoulder or shake my hand, I could recognize you in the mirror as well, right?
But
That ability is
But what at what period of time did we separate from the primates that we see today? What process? What hard scientific fact can prove that we um, came from the ape and or devolved from the ape and became a higher order, which would imply order and design to begin with. But
I
where's the
don't I don't I don't think there is one. I think there's
so it's a
there's
belief.
an
It's a belief, and it's a religion, just like a religion and a deity. It's no different.
uh,
Point.
yeah, evolution is, but I don't think the category of primate is because that's descriptive and not prescriptive, right? Um, the fact that we are mammals by definition, right, and that we are Homo sapien by definition
Well, who's definition?
doesn't.
Yeah, it's exactly. Who's
Well, I
def-
mean,
We'll look at a platypus, right?
whose definition is any
Yeah.
word.
It's like who? Well, everybody has. We can link it back and say, okay, they say a mammal is something that basically live birth, uh, suckles their young. But then when we look at the platypus, it breaks those rules. So just the classifications, because that does come from the evolutionary frame of thought, uh, it 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 breaks its own rules in a lot of ways. Like
The mammalian definition would come from uh, breast milk, and there's usually a relationship between breastfeeding and a live birth that doesn't occur with most egg-laying species,
well,
and that's why the platypus would be the exception because it does.
if it's an exception, then it needs reclassification at that point. So this is
Well,
where
it's not an exception to the definition though, because the
Well-
definition is about breast milk, mammalian, right? As in,
it also it goes against a few other things with the fact that
mammary glands.
it has the bill, it has venom. But I'd like
Yeah,
to address,
none of
Wait,
those
I
things.
just wanted to also add
None of those things are outside the definition of a mammal, though.
the platypus does produce milk. It just doesn't have nipples to oh.
yeah, it's different
Right. It has mammary glands, which is where the word mammal comes from.
but doesn't it lay eggs?
Yes, but egg laying is not. It does not undefine a mammal. A mammal is defined by the ability to the possession of mammary glands that produce milk. Now, most animals that do that also have live births and don't lay eggs.
Most. So you're saying most or all except the platypus?
No, most. I think there's a couple of other examples too, like
what are the other ones? Yeah.
off the top of my head, I can't think of, but there are other species that.
You got to be able to know it, because
Well, what difference does it make? Let's say it's the only one. So what?
A lot of difference because we have to understand exactly where we're at when we speak of these things to know that we're staying in a
Yeah, mammary glands.
well
Mammary mammal.
No. What were the other ones you said that lay eggs?
No, I was gonna not say lay eggs per se, but just other mammals that don't give live birth.
I'd like to address Alexis's.
And let's say there's none.
Well, no, there is some.
The definition still holds.
You have the platypus.
But the platypus is a mammal. It has mammalian glands.
But it lays eggs.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with being a mammal.
Well, it goes against.
Mammals can lay eggs.
Well, it's showing you that it's something that has mammary glands, but it also lays eggs. So now this is a different category of something that would be classified as a mammal. So it's either something that is a whole different classification. But I'd
I don't
like
understand why
to,
you keep saying that, though.
Okay, I'm gonna look it up because I'm
oh,
unaware of any mammals
yeah,
that lay
yeah,
eggs other
def-
than the platypus,
yeah,
because that would be
definitely,
the exception.
yeah.
But
Alexis
it's not an exception.
well,
Well,
It
tell
it
me
it
if
has
that's the only animal.
mammary glands
Yeah,
that
but we're
produce milk.
okay. I'm gonna look it up real quick, but I'm just saying if that's the only mammal that
no,
we're
no,
aware of.
we'll go deep into it because also there's other animals that recognize themselves in the mirror. There's even insects that show self-awareness. So when we prove this, it disproves a lot of the stuff that you're saying is supposedly set in stone. But I'd like to address Alexis's comment. We know demons control emotions, but it's like Agent Smith is on a whole other level. A flip just switches, and it's like Agent Smith possesses you, takes control of your body without you realizing. And we do see that. We definitely see that on in many instances. Uh, Aching of oneself says, I'm 50-50 on us living in a simulation of some sort, maybe some type of Truman Show paranoia, certainly patterns and improbabilities in day-to-day life leave me increasingly wondering. That's where it begins when we question ourselves. And good to see you, the Dutch Black Pill Man. Always a pleasure, bro. Alexis says we must also remember in the movie, Agent Smith can only possess people plugged in. That's really deep. That's a great point because it shows that plugged in could be representative of belief. So, like how when we were talking about the mammalian thing, your Agent Smith came out to defend that. And yeah, if you're plugged into, I would even take it a step further, Alexis, and say in the movie they're plugged in life, it's the plug-in is the belief, is the not knowing for sure, and then defending that. Mr. X said he'll be back. So we'll look it up. Like, not all primates have self-recognition. So that's one thing. So it's not the thing which you were saying about primates. So that debunks itself. We also have the mammalian thing. I think the mind jumped off because he was probably looking up, but I can look it up. So the mammal definitive would be, and again, AI is not the end all be all. So the presence, what you were saying about the milk, is just part of it. The presence.
Yeah, the other parts are warm-blooded,
Yeah,
hairy.
exactly. So when you just said it's
So
based
that's
just
all the
milk,
platypus.
well, that was incorrect on just saying the milk because it's also possesses.
Well, that's where the word comes from. It's the etymology.
Yeah, and the etymology.
The point is that the definition of mammal still applies to a platypus in every way, shape, or form. It's not exclusionary.
Well, if you really look at it, you start to see that the platypus is breaking some. It's breaking some rules here, and when we go deeper into it, we start to say, okay, to be so.
And marsupials, sorry, that was what I was thinking of earlier, are the marsupials.
Okay.
But
So
go ahead.
now marsupials, that's another thing too when we look into that. Alexis says this guy, Agent Smith, is coming out. He's a perfect example of the topic. Yeah, it's a very good example of that. See, this is what's great about this show is that we we explore all these avenues and you're giving us a great example of what the title of the show is about because you're staunchly defending this, saying that, hey, you know what it is? This is what they say it is, and this is what I believe it is, and you're going to defend it. Right now,
I'm only defending the definition of a word.
Well, I'm not words.
And you've yet to provide any evidence whatsoever that it's incorrect.
Well,
but that's not the same thing as an Agent Smith.
Well,
because it's not without questioning.
No, it is an Agent Smith because we got Dutch Black Pill and the Mind. popped on. Dutch, how you doing, Dutch?
Very great. This morning in the Netherlands, and how is it, MD? And
Oh yeah,
yeah.
it's 10:40 at night here in New York, so it's. But
Okay.
yeah, good to hear from you, man.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on the conversation about the Agent Smith and other things?
Agent Smith, yeah, it is, a kind of mind control to be a good, loyal citizen and to pay taxes, and this and programming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mental programming.
Yeah.
Yeah, mental.
Indeed.
I do want to add. Okay, so I looked it up, and as far as I can find, the only other animal that is able to lay an egg is the porcupine. So it's the platypus and the porcupine.
And the echidna, I think.
Oh yeah. Well, that's
There you
okay.
go.
Well, that's
There you
what I
go.
was calling a porcupine. It's called an echidna, but it looks like a porcupine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean,
And
they're
they're all mammals by definition.
There's only two. That's the exception. Those are only two throughout the whole animal kingdom.
They're not an exception though. They're just mammals.
You got to remember, definitions are made up. So,
Of course.
So now this is what we're saying. Your Agent Smith is defending something that's made up. This is a belief system where we can put this into a much more better explanative group to say, okay, we know that these things didn't just pop up by random selection.
Well, I didn't deny that.
Well, we're not saying you did. Again,
You are though. You're calling me Agent Smith.
Well,
because I defended a definition that works.
The Agent Smith is strong in this one. Alexa says,
I think it's strong in you.
Great, man. Great.
I think you're showing me your Agent Smith right now.
I think that's a wonderful thing, man. Alexa says, it's not without questioning. What the government tells us a mammal is law. This guy, Agent
No,
Smith,
the government doesn't tell you what a mammal is. Does the government tell you what the word whatever means?
Alexis is.
Does the government tell you what the word questioning means? Does the government tell you what the word government means?
Do you know what government means?
I know what the definition is.
Well, tell me what it is without looking it up. It should be right off the top of your head. I can tell you. Let me educate you on it before your Agent Smith comes in.
Sure.
Government, right? The etymology comes from Latin. So ment is mente, meaning the mind. Govern is to restrict, to hold back, to limit. So its literal meaning, translation into English is mental restriction, mental limitation. So
that's not the etymology of government. It comes from Old French.
Really?
Which means to stare or direct.
Where does French come from? Latin. See, your Agent Smith is strong, man.
Yeah, but the Latin it comes from is meant. I took Latin. If you allow me to respond, Agent Smith. If you allow me to respond, Agent Smith. Mentum is where the suffix comes from, which means of action.
Government is basically
it's a derivative of mentum. That's where it comes from. Mentum means of result or action. So it's to stare or direct your actions. It's not to limit your mind. That's an improper etymology that you made up. It sounds like a belief that you have, Agent Smith.
No, it's not. It's actually what it is. It steers
the mind.
It steers the mind. Government is to steer the mind. And you know how you test definitions, right? Do you know how you test the definition? Okay, you don't.
No, enlighten me.
No. The pause tells me everything because you can look it up.
You're asking ridiculous questions that don't have a yes or no answer.
It's only ridiculous to agents.
And your etymology is incorrect too. So far, you haven't been able to justify any of your criticisms.
It's okay. It's only ridiculous to Agent Smith, not to a thinking individual. So I'll explain it to you. How you check a definition is you look at reality and you say to yourself, okay, what does a government do? Government does restrict your thought. It restricts your physical actions as well. It restricts a lot of things.
You do say this sounds like paranoid schizophrenia at this point.
Well, Agent Smith would say that That's
A
what
cat eats food. What's the definition of a cat?
Look, Agent Smith would say that.
A
So
cat
now,
has a tail. What's the definition of a
look,
cat,
no,
Agent
no.
Smith?
See, now the Agent Smith is getting crazy. Now you're programming.
You're already there. You're already there.
You're programming.
You're already in crazy.
Spun out. It spun out. We saw it with the mammal and the primate thing. I just said,
I saw you spin out on the word mammal. Correct. Your Agent Smith came right to the surface.
I said, let me give you enough rope. So now that you've hung yourself with the rope, we can go forward into other things, but you've already hung yourself with this.
I think you're projecting now.
You can check any definition to see if it's right or wrong by looking at reality
Cat.
in comparison to that definition.
Definition of cat. They eat tuna. They like milk.
No.
Is that anywhere in the definition of a cat?
Now your Agent Smith is trying to interrupt, and you're angry now because you've been outed.
I'm not angry.
I'm trying to.
You haven't outed anything. You're just projecting and being insulting for no reason.
I'm trying to minimize that Agent Smith, and it might not be. I might not be able.
If you were, then you wouldn't be talking to me the way that you are right now.
I might not be able to get rid of the Agent Smith. Alexis,
you're the Agent Smith.
Hold on a second. Alexis, brother, thank you for the support, bro. He says, notice how much he changed after his flip got switched. Exactly.
I'm still calm. I'm not talking super fast or irritated.
And you went to interrupting now. I have to. You have to give respect.
Yeah, because the difference is between having a conversation or people deliberately being insulting and then trying to gaslight you about why you're reacting a certain way.
Boy, Agent Smith is. I'm not even talking to Dennis.
You're Agent Smith. I'm not talking to you. You're Agent Smith.
I'm talking to Agent Smith right now.
I'm talking to Agent Smith right now.
Okay, guys. Technically, I am Agent Smith.
Okay. Notice how much he changed after his flip got switched, or his switch got flipped. He went from calm, slow-talking person into an irritated, fast-talking, interrupting Agent Smith. Thank you, Alexis. Thank you, Alexis. Keeping it real, man. We just got the best.
That's literally what you did. Because I brought up the word mammal.
Every time you interrupt, you're proving this point. You're giving us.
No, you're just filibustering.
We're giving. Look, this is a great stream because
as soon as I brought up the word mammal, it flipped your switch.
It wasn't. It was before mammal.
You got triggered.
Primate. No, you said primate first. So
yeah, that flipped your switch too. I noticed.
You also said evolution.
And then you started talking over me and insulting me and calling me Agent Smith.
Well, how is Agent Smith an insult? And again, you don't understand. It's a description.
Now you're telling me I don't understand things.
Exactly.
I don't know the meaning of words. I don't understand things. I'm an Agent Smith. Why are you talking over me and interrupting me? Are you Agent Smithing right now?
Listen carefully. I am not insulting you. I'm describing you.
You're describing yourself, though. Do you see the difference?
No, this is the Agent Smith telling me that.
You're Agent Smith.
Timbo,
you got to defend you got to defend your belief that primate is an invalid category. You have to defend your belief that mammal is a fake word. That definition doesn't work. These are your beliefs. And you're desperate. You're so desperate to believe them. You keep interrupting me. Listen to you. You can't even wait for me to finish speaking. And you're accusing me of the same thing.
Agent Smith came out, Mr. X.
I
think you triggered it.
Why are you Agent Smithing me right now?
It's okay, man. It's
we all had
process.
So real quick, MD. I thought we had. From someone's perspective on the panel, we all had Agent Smith in us. So what's wrong with if you accepting?
You're absolutely right. We want to call out whenever that happens, and we say we can have,
but not when you do it yourself.
Well, see, the thing is, we couldn't even get to talk about your Agent Smith is strong, man. It's strong.
You had to interrupt me while I was talking about, and I used the word primate. And so you interrupted me while I was talking.
You interrupted
while I was talking. I used the word primate. You interrupted me to stop me because you were so triggered by my use of the word primate. Now you're continuously trying to talk over me still while accusing me of being the agent.
The one
And
thing,
then,
the one
because you
thing,
detracted from my original
the one
comment,
thing
which
that
used the
not
word
you,
primate, we got
the
sidetracked
one
onto
thing,
a conversation about what a mammal is.
the one thing
Because
that
you
you do
needed a
not
more
do is
refined
the
definition of
one
the
thing
word
that you do
primate. You
not
had
do
to
is
stop me from
interrupt a super
talking
chat. You
in
do not
order to
interrupt a super
get
chat.
me to define primate. Then we
You,
got onto a conversation
you
about
do not
mammals,
interrupt
and
a
that
super
triggered you
chat.
even further. Then you started calling me Agent Smith, telling me
No,
I
no,
don't
I'm
understand what
telling you
words
the
mean,
ancient
that
Smith
I
in
don't
you.
understand the topic, and then highlighting super
The
chats
ancient
about
Smith
people
in
telling
you.
you the same thing, and then you're wondering why I'm reacting
You,
differently
you,
to the
it's,
conversation.
it's not even
Because the
you anymore.
conversation before was about the topic. Now it's about
It's
how
not
I'm
even
an
you
idiot
anymore.
who doesn't understand the words that I
All
use,
right, let
and
me
I'm the
let
greatest
me let
example of the
Dutch
thing that you've
let
been
me let Dutch
criticizing on your stream the whole time.
let
I
me
just want
let
to let you
Dutch
know
talk.
I can't hear anything you're saying while I'm talking, right? But now I'm
Well,
done.
then
Go ahead.
maybe
What do
you
you got
need
to
to
say?
stop talking. So let Dutch talk now because he's a guest as well, and he's been here many times before you. Dutch, what's up?
Yeah.
What do you got to say about this?
Yeah, it's like crazy Care Bear mentality. You know the
Yeah.
show with the bears, and everyone is
Yes.
happy, everyone is good. The left people do it, and the right people do it. And I see it in the old cartoon in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
It's programming, is it? That's
Yes.
the thing. What I
Yes.
see with the Matrix and the Care Bears, it's all it's the same thing, the same bullshit.
Yes. Yeah. Very much so. Very much so. I appreciate that. The
What do you mean
mind.
by Care Bear?
Alexis says, with his strong agent Smith took his body over. We know he's plugged in. Definitely, the plug-in is strong. The plug-in is definitely strong, Alexis. It's you called it out completely processed. You and Mr. X here when you get a chance because I know he's in the middle of stuff. But if the mind, yeah, because when we started talking about the primate and it went into that they're self-aware, but there are many other animals, and like I added, insects that are self-aware. And I'm pretty sure you don't know about those studies. If you did, you wouldn't have said what you said. But that's okay because this is a place of learning. The stream. Do you have Agent Smith syndrome? So you proved it, and that's great. I think that's great. Now, when we can observe our behavior and say, "Hey, wait a minute, I'm Agent Smith and a little there." I'm defending something that is more of a belief than positive knowledge. We catch ourselves and we say, okay, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to push it. I'm not going to talk over someone when they're reading out a super chat to, well, it's not even the person that's talking over, it's the Agent Smith. So and that's the amazing thing about Agent Smith is that the person sometimes doesn't even recognize it's happening and they start just their consciousness is in that moment suppressed, and Agent Smith has come forth just the way when he's chasing Neo and the people in society turn into Agent Smith. The old lady holding the knife in the kitchen, Neo looks, sees her, and then when he turns around, the knife is thrown and sticks in the wall, and he looks back and she's not her anymore, it's Agent Smith.
Can I add one thing to this?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I also feel like there's this aspect where, I mean, in the movie Agent Smith, he was like an authority figure, right? He was an agent for the state or whatever, and I feel like people like they're an
The mic
authority
broke up a
on
little.
what they're saying, and
Could you repeat that? It broke up a little.
I said I feel like they have the same mentality where they uh, hold themselves to be some authority figure on whatever they're saying, and then demand that level of respect or whatever. And then if not, then this whole thing plays out.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I
So
think
I think I just want to say find it really funny that he's coming on your show trying to overtalk you. It's literally your show. There should
yeah,
be more respect there.
no, and you're right, but it's a beautiful thing too because it's the perfect show for him to do that. It's like what Alexis was saying. We got we just got the best example of an Agent Smith this stream. Thank you. This Alexis is genius, man. This is a genius level comment, bro. He's stating what we just got. We couldn't have got a better example of Agent Smith. We got to thank Denizen X, Agent X, Agent Denizen. That is so cool. So yeah, he overtalked. We can look back at it and say, look at the mental takeover at the time from when he was calm, cool, and collected. And he was like, yes, we, evolution, we come from, primates. We have a similarity from that. And then the next thing you know, something got triggered and Agent Smith came out. So I think it was
the words, the prescriptive, the descriptive, that's where the words start messing with people.
Yeah, well, belief, somebody who is not Agent Smithing will just relax and just say, all right, if that's how you feel. When we look at government, like the word we were talking about, and when I mentioned, okay, how do you tell if the definition is correct or not? Because somebody could say, well, it means this, and it doesn't mean this. We've seen that with the definition of black and white from older dictionaries, when it tried to say anything that was black is bad, anything that was white is good. We look at reality and we say, well, white sugar, white rice, and other white substances, certain drugs, are not good. But other white things are. You want white clouds, you want white snow, some of them, so we see that. Some black things, when something is decaying, you'll say, okay, that's not good. But then there's other things that are black that are good. The darkness, you have to have darkness when you sleep to create the melatonin. If you don't sleep in dark environments, you start to have problems. The dark of night, that's a good thing. The dark cycle for plants to grow, that's a good thing. So we see that when they say that black is all bad and white is all good, we see that definition is incorrect when compared to reality. Government is the same thing. It means mind control. What do we see when we compare it to reality? Mind control, physical control, monetary control, birth control, many types of control. So it fits the definition. And this holds over anybody trying to change that and tell you, no, it means this. French is not as old as Latin. It actually stems from Latin, even Old French. English as well. English is part Latin, but part Germanic. So as we go a little deeper, we can analyze this some more. Dutch, did you have? And Dutch, you speak Dutch and English, right? Do you speak those two fluently, right?
Yeah, I speak a little bit English and Dutch also. And I thought about the white light when you pass away. We say that the white light when you pass away is good. Maybe it's a trap.
Exactly. We don't know. Yeah, exactly. That's a very good point.
And in the show Star Trek Voyager, Captain Janeway don't enter it in the white light. There's an episode, maybe on YouTube you can see it. Maybe I give the link from the episode. It's very interesting, and you see someone, Captain Janeway see her father, and the father say, come with me for paradise, and she don't want into the matrix. She want. It's very interesting. It's very. People think white light, the program, white light is good. The white light. When we pass away, we don't know.
Yeah.
Am I still on the panel?
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, I wasn't talking about primates. I was talking about hyperrealism. When I mentioned the word primate, it triggered you, so you had to interrupt me, stop me from talking, talk over me, and then question me about the category of primates, which I still haven't seen any valid criticism of. There aren't any insects that are self-aware. I know about the studies you're referring to. The insects are capable of a very basic level of self-awareness. It's
Oh,
nothing
retaining
like
memory.
what great. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. What was that, Agent?
Retaining. I know insects have been shown to be able to retain memory. I mean, I think that's a part of
Yeah,
some awareness.
I'm sure. I'm sure they do. And like I was saying, there have been studies that show that insects show a very basic level of self-awareness, but nothing like what great apes or humans possess, which was the distinction I was making.
Now
And
that you had time to look it up, it's invalid because you didn't know it when we asked.
but I did know it. You just kept talking over me like you're doing now.
No,
Would you like to go ahead and keep going, or shall I continue?
that's
It's
not
up to you.
true. That's not true, but it's okay because it sounds like Agent Smith has let Denizen talk a little bit. And we noticed this. Believe me, you're not the first guy that came on here and tried to be slick and got caught out there. But you made a good try. You definitely did. And you're smart to an extent. The study with the insect showing self-awareness, now that you looked it up, which insect is it?
I mean, it's more than one insect. Can I continue with what I was saying?
No, wait. What is the main insect?
There isn't a main insect.
Well, give me an example of one insect.
A cockroach.
And what is the self-awareness that it shows?
Off the top of my head, there's they can recognize when they're don't match their environment. They have pattern recognition. They can recognize when.
So pattern recognition is self-awareness now?
It's a form of awareness. Yeah, it's just not on the same level as humans.
No, not awareness. Not awareness.
You're still not allowing me to speak.
Self-awareness. Answer the question, please.
I did.
No, you didn't, man.
I would love to get back to what I was saying before.
No, but you have to answer the question.
You keep interrupting me to make you answer some
that is
questions
not
for you.
Self-awareness. You can't.
Okay.
You can't,
Agent Smith,
this, bro.
I'm going to give this a shot.
Go ahead
and see if you can control yourself, because I sat here for 15 minutes while you talked.
Well, you thought you were off the panel when you were on the panel the whole time.
We're this.
Go ahead.
When
please.
It went all awry, and when my attitude changed and the manner of speaking changed, is when you decided to interrupt me and talk over me, and then tell me that I don't understand the meanings of words. And you did so in a rather condescending way, like you're doing right now. You're quite condescending and quite rude. It's not very welcoming. You started off welcoming, then I don't know where it changed. I think when I used the word primate, right, is literally what triggered you, because you have some kind of Agent X or Agent Smith response to the categorization of mammals. It really bothered you. That you had to interrupt me and then start being condescending and rude and quizzing me with questions in order to prove your intellectual superiority. And this is obvious to someone.
If you listen to the show,
room temperature.
All right,
so
Denizen.
That's when my attitude changed and the exchange changed between us. I wasn't defending anything. You seem to be the one who has belief that needs to be defended.
Okay.
So where should this conversation go? Because
you won't allow for a back and forth. You're basically filibustering.
I'm trying to have a back and
you're
forth,
stating
but
things that just aren't true.
No,
like, for example, that insects possess human-like self-awareness. I mean, that's just not true.
Okay. I want to jump in here real quick. I'm just gonna
studies.
I'm just gonna interrupt
me. You have done so, and so you just chose to be rude and to tell me that I'm not aware of anything, rather than to tell me about the study. So
Denizen,
your agenda here is not to enlighten or educate. It's
Denizen,
just to pick on new people.
Who is the man met the hammer?
People who believe that the word mammal or the word primate has some kind of definition that's worth using.
So wait. Hold on a second. I got to show this.
I didn't try to talk over you.
Wow,
you interrupted me.
Agent Smithing.
And it seems convenient that the only way I can be an Agent Smith is to let you just talk about me like I'm not even here.
Oh my goodness. Hold
the
on.
Gaslighting,
we're looking at
the
something.
Interrupting, the insulting, that's what changed the way I felt on the panel.
Wow.
Well, you don't have to be here. You literally don't have to be here if you don't like it so much. You can leave. If you have that much of a problem, you can pick up.
Yeah, it's all right. So this is Kon Slobodikov. PhD.
Mhm,
Oh, I
yeah.
have to be careful about playing videos on this because of the YouTube thing.
It's no video. It's no video. So I've taken a screenshot from it, and it is.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's just a picture. Okay, okay.
Yeah, and
And
there's a video. It's a professor. You see that the prairie dogs can communicate with different dangers.
And
mhm.
in
Yeah.
language, huh? In language, beep 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 beep,
Yes.
and
Yeah,
different beeps.
Yes, yeah, they give us different names. I saw this is actually a very good channel, A Curious Bird. They had a Japanese guys that was showing how birds give different names to different animals too. Like they'll have a different warning for a snake and than they do for a mammal or a
Yeah.
squirrel or something like that.
And they create new names, prairie dogs, for humans, for eagles, for
Yep.
other danger animals. So it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Different beeps. Yeah.
Very, very, and this is a level of self-awareness that I don't think Denizen knew about. He this is thank you for this. I really appreciate that.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
very interesting. It's very
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
Very, very interesting. This is you have to remove it from backstage because if I remove it, it'll pull you off
It's
as
good.
well.
Okay.
Yeah, it has
It's
no, I
gone.
appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. That is I think Denizen is still talking. Let me see.
and Agent Smith.
He's
I mean,
still
that's begging the
talking.
question. The only way someone can refrain from being an agent.
He's still talking. I don't even know if he's listening to the stream when he's talking, because for us to talk about the picture you just put up, Dutch, I had to, like put his thing, the volume down. And now when I raise it again, look. Okay, now he's quiet. He must be listening to the stream. Okay, because he was still going. Yeah, his Agent Smith was.
I couldn't hear anything while I was talking.
No, you were talking. Alexis says.
Yeah, I was trying to talk.
Okay.
Were you muting me while I was talking?
Oh my goodness, man! I'm trying to read this off now. Alexis says, "Take note, watchers. This is how powerful Agent Smith is. It completely warps your mind, brainwashing you into become a mindless zombie who will even lack basic manners." Thank you, Alexis. Absolutely.
You're talking about your host.
What the fact that you just interrupted again proved what he's saying.
You were done. I waited for you to finish. You're a gaslighter. You lack basic manners. You're rude and condescending, and you've been talking over me the whole time.
I appreciate that, man. I tell you one thing. I've said it on many streams that I'm smart enough to know I'm stupid. And when you tried to say that I'm coming at you with intellectual superiority, that's incorrect. So what happened was we got to see the real Denizen. We got to see the Agent Smith come out. And Mr. X is back. So I think he was busy. He didn't see the transformation when Agent Smith came out of you. And it was kind of brutal, Mr. X.
I mean, I heard him saying, "Why are you over talking me?" and this and that, and that's the part I caught on to, because I was getting ready to work.
Yeah, I don't like being talked over, like deliberately, right?
Well,
but we have to. We're here to conversate. We're not here to argue. We're here to conversate.
Right. Well, when I did it, I was an Agent Smith. See how you just interrupted there? There's no problem with that. It's a back and forth. That's natural conversation, right?
But I allowed you to speak. I didn't continue talking. I allowed you to speak.
Exactly. That's my point. You're with me on this. And I heard you just talk right there while I was talking, and I stopped because I want to hear what you have to say. Maxed Out did not show me that same courtesy. He just kept talking over me like I wasn't even talking, like I wasn't even on the panel.
Trying to make alliances.
No, there's no alliances to be made. I don't need alliances. I'm already in hostile territory. If we're going to
no, we're not hostile. We want to hear all arguments, but we want to conversate. We want to conversate.
Mr. X, Maxed Out is hostile, and so are a lot of the people in the chat.
Thanks.
Well, what was the argument specifically? What was the argument that
economists still?
I was talking about hyperrealism. I used the word primate, and it triggered his Agent Smith. And so then we had to have a conversation about what primates are, which interrupted what I was saying. I wasn't even talking about that. And then the conversation went to mammals, right? And then that category had to be attacked as well. And so now I wasn't even talking about the comment I was making. Now I'm up here just trying to explain why a platypus is still technically a mammal, because just the usage of the word triggered his belief system and brought out his Agent Smith.
I'd like to add in that Mr. X was here and saw that we didn't get triggered when you said primate. So, so right there, you outed yourself. The Agent Smith came out and lied. So if
By
you
your
can observe
definition,
that.
By your definition,
Oh
like
my
what you
goodness.
accused me of being triggered and me of being Agent Smith,
Oh,
you did it to me.
we got the man in the hostile Hyperborean. What's up?
Get on here, hostile.
He said hostile territory, you say. Now, if this guy comes on here, Denizen X, I think I don't think you're gonna be able to deal with the level. Talk about intelligence, the level, yeah, hostile if you want to hop on, bro. Yeah,
able or willing, you know, those are two different things.
But why do you accept the evolutionary definition of mammal and primate? Don't you think that it's possible they're wrong?
I don't
He
accept
said they're
evolution. I
descriptive.
brought that I brought that up in the comment in which I prefaced, before I used the word primate or mammal, I prefaced it by saying there were lots of holes in evolution and that I was using it descriptively, and the category was accurate to what I was referring to. But he couldn't allow that because of his Agent Smith.
What was the point you're trying to make? Let's just say none of that happened. What was your point?
I don't even remember, bro.
So you don't even remember your point.
Now.
Okay.
He can't remember.
That's what happens when people interrupt you for no reason and then detract the conversation to something completely and totally irrelevant to what I was talking about.
So how much longer should we go on focusing on what MD did? If let's say it was an issue, he doesn't want to be like he doesn't have the same perspective as you do. How long are we gonna stay on this?
I can answer that. I can answer that honestly. First of all, no offense, right? Like you guys seem like you have a great stream going. There's a lot of smart people here. You don't need me here, right? Like, so I don't want you guys to take this the wrong way. I'm not threatening to leave the panel.
You can't threaten to leave the panel.
The question. Just let me answer the question, buddy. It's gonna be okay.
Not a threat.
It'll be okay, Agent Smith. Just let me.
Leaving the panel is never a threat to us. That's what
I
I'm
just said.
No,
that's what I just said.
You're not threatening. You cannot threat to leave the panel.
Yes, and I'm acknowledging that. It's okay, buddy.
Listen,
I'm gonna go ahead and try to answer the question, even though this dude really doesn't. Agent Smith really doesn't want me to tell you the answer.
Wow, man.
So the answer is right. 2 parts.
This is a really good.
I'm already not going to keep engaging on this level. It's just not my bag.
You've
right?
been doing
no
it for
offense,
30 minutes.
It's not my vibe.
You've been doing it for 30 minutes. If it continues like this,
I'm just going to leave. Right. But secondly, the way I would answer it is, so long as everybody on the panel and everybody in the chat keeps trying to call me a mindless zombie who doesn't understand the definition of words.
But you
are. We're letting you talk. We're letting you talk.
Point out how he did it first. That's just how it is.
But Denizen, we're letting you talk. We're letting you give your point of view. We're not, we're allowing it. So.
Yeah, I mean, MD might have some have some pushback, but I mean, to be honest, like I told him, it's his show. He should be able to like overtalk you if he wants and give his pushback. In my opinion, you're a guest, so you need to be a little more respectful
to a conversation.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying there is a level of respect. There is a level of like authority that goes on, and you want to be the one who is in charge, who has all the authority.
That's not true.
That's how it sounds.
Chats always take precedent. Always take precedent over everything.
I waited for my turn, and then I got constantly interrupted, talked over deliberately with no respect, not an interruption, but deliberately talked over like I wasn't talking. And then the chat started calling me a mindless, a zombie, an Agent Smith, while Maxed Out was doing it. He was deliberately pointing it out and emphasizing it in order to be rude and condescending. And why? Because I dare use the word primate. I mean,
well, remember, we used to be called the Lion's Den back in the day in the old channel. And that's what we are. You're in the Lion's Den here. We don't play around, but we'll let you talk. You know what I mean? We'll let you express your views, but we are the Lion's Den here. We're looking for truth. We're not here to BS.
I mistook the temperature of the room. That's all. My
the
mistake.
Temperature was cool. The temperature was cool until you got triggered. The Agent Smith
came
out.
got triggered. It was cool until you got triggered by my use of the word primate. And then when I demonstrated that it was valid to what I was speaking about.
All right.
And that,
all right.
That
so we know that's not true.
Also applies to platypuses.
So we know that's
you
not
got
true.
even angrier.
No,
And then when
no,
I pointed out that you're laughing,
Mr. X was here, and we didn't get triggered off of primate.
Yeah, we don't get triggered
yes,
very
you
easily.
did. And
No,
then
no,
and
no.
then you
Not
got
here.
even more
Trust
upset
me.
when I
We've been through
pointed
the
out that your
fires,
Latin
man.
was
We've been
off.
through wars with people. It's very hard to trigger us. We just want to follow the YouTube guidelines,
Listen,
but it's very hard to trigger
I
us.
agree.
Look,
I
we're
agree.
gonna
The
send
reason
you.
why I'm using the word trigger
Hold on
is
a
because
second,
he's using it to
Dennison.
describe me
Hold on a second.
for interrupting
We're gonna send you a picture of
and
Agent
talking,
Smith.
even though he
How about
keeps hitting the mute button.
that? We're
So
gonna-
if I'm triggered, then he's also triggered. Is the only point I'm saying, right? So I don't think either one of us is triggered.
So
You'd
now
be
you're
surprised,
triggered.
Dennison. We actually love this. We love this stuff.
He
No,
doesn't
I
realize
get
that.
it. I
Yeah, I
get it, and
know.
I don't, right? So I'm probably gonna, go my way and wish you
Why?
guys a good
Why? We're
stream.
having such a great
It's
conversation.
just not my.
We
it's
love
just not-
having you here,
gentlemen,
Dennison.
Gentlemen, it's just not my vibe. It's no offense. No
What's
offense.
your vibe?
Seriously.
I got some digital pics of Agent
When
Smith.
people
for you,
actually want to share ideas and not be deliberately rude and condescending in order to,
you should
like,
change your avatar to
level,
Agent Smith.
level. You see what I'm saying? Like this. That's not my vibe, Mr.
You
X.
gotta understand, Dennison. This is a man show. We're men here. We don't play around.
I understand that a lot of
You
men
gotta have
think
some
that this
backbone
is-
to come on
You should
here.
put your name as
I think
Mammal
this is
X
how women
or
talk.
Primate X. How about
That's
that?
just my personal opinion, right? So we can agree to disagree, right?
You gotta
No
love
big
it,
deal.
bro. This is hilarious. You gotta love it, man. You came on, you were cool, calm, and then you got triggered because you didn't know something. You thought that.
See, that's where I got triggered
Look
from,
at
Mr.
you,
X.
look
You
at you,
saying
triggered again. Triggered.
I'm triggered
Okay,
again. See?
I do want to jump in here as like a non-biased party. I was gonna say a biased party, and say I did see you get a little frustrated when he was asking you like, how do you know a word is a right definitions is correct? How do you tell when a definition is correct? I think you were like, that's dumb or that doesn't matter, or I don't know why you're asking that.
That's correct.
And that does matter. Like knowing if you're actually using a right definition and how to determine the
And
correct
I demonstrated
one
that
matters.
I was. And I defended my definition quite well.
You said because of the milk. You said because they're able to produce milk, which is you just regurgitating
that's the etymology of the word, correct. And a platypus also fits all of the other categorizations of a mammal as well. I demonstrated that. I said it out loud.
Yeah, but that's not you demonstrating how to prove whether a definition is right or not. That's just you going back to you saying,
it's just
I believe
proving that
what I said is right.
If it wasn't about trying to make me look stupid, and it was actually trying to listen to what I had to say, that the word mammal was acceptable for the classification that I was using.
We can't make you look stupid. Only you can do that.
It was perfectly valid.
Look, we can't make you look stupid.
As
only
was
you
the
can
word
do that.
primate. And again, I'm only using the same terminology that he's using, right? He's calling me triggered for doing the thing that he did first. I agree. Neither one of us is triggered. I agree.
You just said we were.
All I did was respond in kind.
You just said we were.
Yes, because you used the word trigger.
Okay. Now you're saying we weren't triggered, and then you just admitted that you said we were triggered. Which one is it, man?
I just explained it. Do you need me to repeat myself?
Okay, hold on a second. Alexis says non-Agent Smiths
hold on a second. Okay.
are aware they don't know everything. Agent Smiths, however, will fight tooth and nail to prove they know everything due to the knowledge they received from the government. And this is so true, Alexis. We've got one of the best examples, like you just said. This was we got to hand.
No, we don't.
We got to hand it to
Dennison
Smith.
I've never fought tooth and nail to prove that I know everything. Bro, I'm not a good example. You're being rude again.
You are so triggered, man.
And you're doing it deliberately because I use the word primate.
I think it's hilarious, man.
If I'm triggered, then you're triggered.
But didn't you just say nobody was triggered?
Yes, because you're lying when you say
why would
triggered.
you think somebody asking for a specific definition of primate would be triggered? He just wants clarification on what you think a primate is.
No, he didn't just want clarification because I gave it to him, and then we had now a 30-minute long conversation about it.
Yo, Mark, what's up, bro? Good to see you, and Christopher. Oh, so yeah, he's hair pulling. He's name calling. He's definitely
name calling.
He's scraping the side of the pool, drowning in his own excuses. Yeah. Yeah,
that's you. You called me Agent Smith. You said I was a mindless zombie.
Smith too? Didn't you call me? Okay, so if you're saying that I'm name calling by calling you Agent Smith, and you just
I
said that
am
you called
responding
me,
to you in kind, sir.
look,
Correct.
but that
But you're
means
the
that
one
you
who's
were
trying to
name
change the
calling
way
as
it went
well.
down.
But
And-
You're the
really,
one who's trying to say that I started
hold
it
on a
when
second.
you're
Hold
the
on a
one who
second.
started.
This is what you didn't realize was
You got the same
it's
energy that
it's
you
a
get.
description. It's a description, not an insult.
Yes, of course, mindless zombie's not an insult. Why would anybody take that as an insult?
I didn't call you a mindless zombie. Alexis
No, you
said
just
that,
agreed
and
with the guy in chat who
exactly,
did and said,
he's correct.
excellent point.
He's
He is a
definitely
mindless zombie.
no. He
What
is
a
so
great
correct.
example of an Agent Smith.
No,
Alexis June is one of the smartest guys here in the chat.
exactly.
He's one of the smartest guys
I,
here.
I, I,
Exactly.
I
This is the
respectfully
comment
disagree.
too. Yeah, it was a good comment. He's right. You became a mindless
He
zombie.
isn't right, though.
Why? Why isn't he right? Tell me.
Because I'm not a mindless zombie who lacks basic manners.
You are a
were
mindless
talking
zombie.
over me.
You said that
Negative.
you said that we were doing something, and then you said we weren't doing something. You said, "Oh yeah, we were name calling. We weren't name calling."
Yeah, and I think if you had an IQ above room temperature, you would know exactly what
Now
I meant.
that's an insult. That's an insult. That's a shot.
Yeah.
Well, here's
and
the
it's a
insult,
good one too,
right?
man.
The
It's a
insult
good
is
one.
I think he knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Look, I think
and that
that's
he's
a
being
good.
deliberately obtuse.
I think that's a good description, man. I mean, you tried. You know, you
think he knows
failed.
exactly what I mean when
Look,
I say I called him triggered, because he
Hey, I'm
is
triggered,
calling
man.
me triggered.
Well, I wish that we could
or
just actually like.
engaging in a monicum of the same behavior
No, I
that
think
he's
this is
engaging in
good.
himself.
Look, I'm double-digit IQ
I
triggered.
don't
man.
think that it's triggered.
I think that's.
Why can't
I
we?
think that's
Why
what
can't
he
we talk?
calls it.
Let's have a productive conversation here. How about that? Because I really
Can
don't
we?
mind. Well, I asked you what your point was. You said you don't remember, and you wanted to go back to this issue. I mean, I would like to talk about
Well, like I
something. I don't
answered
know.
you,
No,
right?
he's
I answered
keeping it
you. I
on
will
top.
go
He's
back to
keeping
it.
it on topic.
So long as he keeps
Yeah.
calling me a mindless zombie and Agent Smith and being
Okay,
deliberately
fine.
condescending, rude, and
No, I
Now you
think
insulting.
get
this is
butthurt.
good.
Now
As
you
soon
get
as he-
butthurt. Come on, man.
Yeah, no, I think this is good.
As soon as he wants to have an actual conversation outside of insulting me,
Look,
I will go.
I think that this is good because you're expressing the topic. Do you have Agent Smith syndrome? And you do.
You do. You do.
Okay, we all do. Remember, I think it's true. We all have programming in us that we need to actually realize that.
Yeah,
Look,
and
this is the thing.
he's
I
far
think-
more Agent
I
Smith
think
right
it's
now
hilarious,
than
man.
anybody else on the panel or in the chat.
This is so great. You are giving us some great entertainment here. It's like a mouse.
I can't see your full name, the dude with the green avatar, something mind.
Who's
It's
This is
the
what I'm
mind.
talking about.
He's
the
the mind.
mind.
The
That's
mind,
his
yeah.
full name. Yeah.
As soon as he's ready to stop acting like a child,
Oh
and
my
have a conversation,
goodness!
I'm
You're
down.
attacking the mind?
No, he was responding to me.
Oh, he was saying as soon as who's me? Am I?
Yeah, I think he was referring to you, MD.
Oh wow! Thanks, man. I appreciate that. You know, what was that saying? Until we come back as a child, only then will we see the truth. Is it? I
We're
think.
getting biblical. We're getting biblical.
You know, I'm not religious, but you know,
I know, but we're getting biblical. I know you're not.
Let me
but-
be more specific.
But I think
as soon as you're able to stop being deliberately rude and condescending to a stranger,
Primate X
and you
is
want to
religious.
engage in a constructive conversation, I'll meet you with that energy, just like I did when I first got here.
Okay. Okay. Let's engage in that. All right.
Yeah.
So answer the question.
Okay.
That how do you tell when a definition is wrong?
It depends on how the word's being used, whether or not it's being used in common speech or whether or not.
You don't know, huh?
Wow.
I mentioned it to you and you still messed it up, man. But don't worry.
Yeah,
I'll
because
tell
your
you
answer is
again.
the only right answer, Agent Smith. Anybody who
Look,
says
man.
otherwise, you're going to have to defend it. Defend your belief. Go ahead. Talk
I'm
over
just
me and
saying,
defend
I
your
asked
belief,
you
Agent.
a question and you couldn't.
Yeah, I was
just
answering
like you
it.
did before.
You couldn't listen to the answer. This dude is
Okay,
unbelievable.
go ahead. Go ahead.
I'll give it one more shot.
Well, hopefully you succeed this time. Go ahead.
I can only succeed in giving you my answer.
No, it's not
Whatever
your
I
answer.
say
it's
is
the
my
answer.
opinion
It's the
and my
answer.
answer to the question. It's my opinion and the answer to the question.
No, you're giving me the answer. Go ahead. What is the answer?
Whether or not you can tell if a definition is correct, first will depend on how the word is being used. Whether or not it's being used in as like common language, real world usage, etc., or whether or not it's being used to define something specific, like a technical or mathematical.
Give me an example, please.
An example of what?
A real life example of how the word would be, you know, what you said, misused or used incorrectly, or, you know, give me something that I can say, okay, I understand it now.
I mean, take any word that you want. Let's say, for example,
primate.
Definition. Primate. Absolutely. Primate in common, you know, usage could mean anything that resembles an ape or a human being.
Why?
It can also just mean something that's primary.
Why?
When you use, sorry, what?
Why?
What do you mean? Why? Why? What?
Why is it something that what you said only resembles an ape or a human?
No, I didn't say only. I said it can be used to describe things that are ape-like or human-like.
And then you said primary. So what is? Why are you bringing?
Yeah, it can also be used to. I'm sorry. Go ahead and say that again.
So why are you bringing in primary? How does that have something to do with primary?
Another example of how it could be used in common terms that wouldn't apply if it were used scientifically.
Now you're getting a little confusing.
I'm sorry.
So you're saying primate and primary are similar, like the same meaning or something? Like why did you bring primary in? Why did you bring that in? I asked you how
it's a way that the word primate can be used in
I'll
common.
repeat. Yeah, how could it be used wrong or right? And you brought in primary.
Wrong or right? I don't know
like,
if it can be
give
used
me an
wrong
example
or right.
of us knowing if the definition is used incorrectly or if it's used correctly, so wrong or right.
So, like I was saying, in order to do that, first you have to determine how the word's being used, whether or not it's being used in a common way or whether or not it's being used to define something specifically. For example, in a philosophical debate, we could agree on the definition of terms.
All right, so
we could
just to be clear, you're saying primary is a derivative of primate, like you said before.
Yeah, the words are related, yes.
Okay, now if you look it up, it's going to say no. You chose door number 2, and you're wrong again. You just said.
I disagree.
You know, it's not a disagree. You said primary is a derivative of primate, and that's not true. That's not true. Primarius, right? That is where primary comes from, of the first rank, the chief, you know,
No,
so
it comes
to say.
from primus.
Meaning first, right? Primary.
As in first, correct.
Primate is the Latin word primus, right? Noble. So it has something that's different. So
no,
so
it
you're
literally
saying,
comes from chief superior. Primate literally comes from primus, which means first, chief, superior.
Listen, you said,
and that's what we
don't
mean
try to
when we
switch
talk
it up.
about
Don't try to
primate
switch
apes.
You said primary.
Yes, as in first.
Now, it does not. Primary comes from primarius, and primate comes from primus, making them etymological cousins rather than a parent-child type.
Yeah, did you hear me say that?
Well, you said that it's a derivative of. That's the parent-child type.
I said they were related. Did you hear that?
Oh man, it's okay because the agent.
You didn't hear that, did you?
It's just too strong, man.
And now we're arguing about the word primate.
No, we're not. I just
instead of having a conversation about how you can tell whether or not a definition is true or false.
It's not an argument.
Because
but
you will refuse to allow me to talk at all. Because as soon as I start opening my mouth, your Agent Smith comes to the surface right away.
It's here, man. Your favorite commenter.
You're gonna get
got another
condescending
comment
now.
for you,
Watch.
man. Your
Right
favorite
on cue.
commenter.
Here it is. There's a highlighted comment right on cue.
This couldn't have happened.
I mean, shit. If I had this kind of odds playing the
now
lottery,
now I gotta put you in the playpen for a second. This couldn't have happened in a better stream. This is one of the more powerful Agent Smiths I've seen. Exactly, bro. Alexis is on point, man. You were at the point, Denizen Primate, that it's like how Mark is saying, the missing link, man. You're kind of missing linking. You're kind of missing linking. And I think,
so what do you think, fellas? Was he able to have a constructive conversation?
Oh man!
Or did he just bring it right back to insulting me?
Wow!
And calling me an ape?
No, if I wanted to, but how is that an insult when you said we're primates? How is that an insult?
If that's true, that's a good one, MD. That's a good one. Yeah, if you say we're just highly evolved apes, but if we're highly evolved apes, right? That's what we are, right?
He didn't mean it to be an insult at all.
But aren't we apes? According to...
He didn't mean it to be insulting at all, did he?
I think it's real funny.
He was merely agreeing with me, wasn't he? He thinks we're primates too, doesn't he?
The missing link is missing the link. That's a good one, Christ. Oh man, you were giving us some great examples of Agent Smith syndrome. I got to thank you for that, man. It has come out.
Brought it out in you, didn't I?
It's hard to put it back in. I cannot contain
and the
Smith.
gaslighting is also
Bro, you
impressive.
are everywhere. I'm seeing Agent Smith like multiply, like in that other Matrix.
You
like
should. I brought it out in you.
Man, you're
Agent
like
Smithing like a mofo.
100 Agent Smiths, because Mr. X was here and saw that everything was cool when you said primate. Everything was still cool when you said that, but for some reason you said we got triggered. So that
now you said I got triggered.
It doesn't seem to add up. You see,
it doesn't add up. You're right.
Yeah, man. I mean, but it's okay.
You're full of shit.
That's what Agent
But Denizen, don't you see?
Have no interesting in a conversation.
That's what Agent Smith does, man.
We've had a conversation. We let you speak. We let you speak, but you still call us Agent Smith.
He interrupted me 3 times while I was answering the first question, and then made it about the word primate again. Are you like here?
Man, you are really fun guest. I gotta admit, man, you're a cool
this strong. That you can't see what happened right in front of your face.
You're a cool primate, man. You're a cool primate.
I couldn't hear what you were saying while I was talking.
Let me ask Dutch Pill. Do you have any commentary on this, Dutch?
Yeah, people are primates. Ridiculous. It's like a spoon. It's like a spoon to be a bicycle in evolution.
What's a primate, Dutch?
It is not human. It is a pseudo science.
Where'd you find the definition that a primate's not human? Where'd you find that?
No,
can you give me a source for that? Oh, he's just letting me know.
He's letting you asked him, and he responded.
So trust me, bro. That's the source.
Well, it's the thing that he was making his commentary, and you didn't let him finish. So
but that's what you did to me.
You got triggered.
Exactly, you got triggered.
So you got triggered.
Agent Smith came out.
Exactly.
So let's let Dutch say what he was going to say. So let's let Dutch finish.
Let
him finish.
Yeah, let's let him
give
finish.
Dutch the same treatment you gave me.
No,
Who's a primate, not a human?
No, but you shouldn't do that because
he answered that. He said it's not.
Yeah,
he answered it.
He didn't. But he didn't tell me how.
It's made up. It is.
What's
control
to
control people. It is pseudoscience, and
what is the definition of a human?
Don't interrupt him.
It is the same.
Don't interrupt me. What's the definition of a human?
Oh my goodness.
Look, you gotta chill, Denizen.
Yeah, you have to chill.
I'm chill.
We're gonna call this out because now you're doing whatever you're doing what you're accusing us of doing.
What's the definition of a human?
Look,
it's not a primate.
Doing exactly what you do.
It's not primate.
This is what we do here. We're men, remember?
You heard what he said, right? It's not primate. So
what is it?
He gave you the definition.
A program. We are not.
I couldn't hear him. You were talking over.
People think. We are not primates.
Don't tell us what we're not.
Control,
Tell us what we are. What is a human?
It's about
No. The burden of proof is on you. You're claiming it's scientific, so you have to prove.
A spoon is not
No, I
bicycle.
don't know anything.
A spoon is
we're not
metal.
primates. I
And,
concede. I was wrong. What's a
spoon
human?
is metal. In evolution, a spoon can be a bicycle in
a human
thousands
is
of
a metal
years.
spoon?
And the same what you call,
What's a human?
Oh my goodness!
You got to let
tell me
him
what a
finish,
human is?
Denizen. You have to let him finish. You can't be interrupting.
But I don't. No, of course I can. That's what we do.
No, you can't.
No,
Yes,
I think we are. I think we are souls, angel beings, not humans.
What's a soul?
A soul is a thing with consciousness, connected with consciousness. We come from dark matter. I have a theory.
Consciousness.
MD.
Now you're getting into the metaphysical.
That's a deep theory. Go ahead, Dutch. Let him speak.
And the thing is,
nothing
is the thing. What the nothing, the dimension of nothing is the dark matter dimension. In the dark matter, you can create everything.
I'm asking you what a human is. You're telling me about darkness.
Wait, we're going over his theory now because we had a guy on here called Dark Light Delirium, and he was talking about the darkness theory too. It's really that's a deep theory because darkness is something that's not acknowledged.
Sure. But can you tell me what a human is?
I like that. If you want to troll, we can troll.
We all have beliefs, Denizen. You have beliefs and we have beliefs. None of us are claiming this to be scientifically factual.
No,
but we all have beliefs.
Right off the bat, I'm a mindless zombie. And you're
no, you have a belief. You have a belief system.
I'm an Agent Smith,
and he's acting like a mindless zombie.
But what we object to is if you claim it's science. Don't ever claim that what you think is science. It's a belief. You have a belief, just like everybody.
I believe that I can look up the word primate in the dictionary and it ends up being true about human beings.
So the dictionary is always right. It can never be revised or anything like that.
Exactly.
When you're no, of course you can change it.
Well, how do you know?
Agree upon the meanings.
Okay, there goes that argument.
How do you know if it's revised then?
What argument? The argument is that the word can be used to convey a meaning that we all understand.
No, but how do you know if it's revised?
What are you talking about?
You said that sometimes a meaning could be revised. How do you know if it's revised?
You can check the historical usage of the word, but most people aren't even aware of the revisions while they're speaking. We accept the common current usage usually when we speak.
How do you know if it's been revised without doing that?
I mean, every word's been revised.
No. How do you know? You're not answering the question.
I did. I answered the question. Yes, I did.
All right, I'll ask you again. You said you can look it up, right? How do you know without doing it? How else can you know?
You can't ever really know. The way you can check is by looking at past usage.
So you can't ever really know. That's not really a correct answer.
And that's your opinion.
No, it's not, because there are ways.
You're not interested in other people's viewpoints.
There are ways to figure it out, but you just don't know.
No, because you said that when it came to government, and you were wrong.
No,
you said the same thing about insects, and you were wrong about that too.
You didn't give me you lied and told me it was a cockroach.
Tell me how we can do it.
You told me it was a cockroach, and that was the wrong insect.
No.
Yes, it was. You told me that a cockroach's pattern recognition is self-awareness. That is not.
I told you that cockroaches.
You know what that's called? That's called pattern recognition.
You didn't listen.
No, I
told you
did
that
listen.
Cockroach.
Anybody can rewind it.
Yeah, and they'll see that you didn't listen.
I'll give you another guess.
You're still not listening. You're telling over Agent Smith. You don't want to hear me.
I'll give you another chance, right?
I told you that cockroaches possess a basic form of self-awareness.
And when I asked you what is that basic form, what did you say?
You said, what are some of those forms?
No. What did you say when I asked for the basic form that you said cockroaches possess?
You asked to give
Oh,
you
boy.
Oh my
examples
good
of
agent! Look,
forms of
bring Agent Smith
self-awareness,
out again because
and I
this you
gave
got to
you
bring out
pattern
Agent Smith,
recognition.
bro. Look, you got to bring out
You're
Agent
Agent
Smith,
Smith.
man.
This is getting
I'm
boring.
channeling
This is
Agent
getting
Smith for
boring.
you. I'm channeling Agent
You're
Smith.
boring me.
You know, I want you to Dutch
You're
Black
boring
Belt.
me. You're
Oh wow,
boring
this
me.
is deep. He put in the. You know what, Dutch?
Stop
I'll
talking and
paste
let
this.
me answer, or I'm gonna have to peace
Wait,
out. This is
I'm going to
boring.
paste this into the regular chat for us. Is it okay if I put this in the regular chat, Dutch?
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, okay. It might go into 2 comments. Let me see. Okay. Oh, it went into 4 comments, 5 comments. This is great.
Thanks for the interaction, kind of, sorta.
Oh,
gentlemen.
okay. I appreciate
At
that.
times it was interesting.
I think it
and
was
fun.
great. Hey, you know what? You're always invited to come back, man. If you
Yeah.
yeah,
No
I think
offense,
this was great. You are invited, and Agent Smith. You and your
Yep.
Agent Smith are invited.
I don't think this is really my bag.
Look, check
but
this
I
out.
appreciate the invite.
Dutch
and I
said,
appreciate how welcoming you were in the beginning, and that you let me on.
"Hey, we're welcoming right now. We're welcoming you back, man."
Yeah, but no, this is not welcoming.
What do you want?
You
The
just
red
keep
carpet?
talking over me and lying about.
You want a personal
things.
invite? Give us
The
your
next
address.
time-
We'll send you a personal invite.
No,
Yeah,
I told
bring
you.
your dictionary
Were
next
you not
time.
listening when I told you how you can be welcoming to someone?
Bring your dictionary. Thank you, Agent
You
Prime.
guys don't even know how to act like adults.
Yo, you
Have
came
good
to
one,
the right
fellas.
stream.
Enjoy your.
You'll be
space.
back. Don't worry. You'll be
Agent
back.
Primate,
You know you'll be back.
That's not gonna happen.
You'll be back, bro.
You'll be back. We're not worried.
I'm so glad, man. He was a good Agent Primate. He was a Mark kind of, yeah. I think it was great. But Dutch got some deep stuff here with.
Now, what does he say here, Dutch?
He says the dimension of nothingness may be what we call dark matter, a realm where consciousness itself is trapped. Perhaps consciousness or a higher form of consciousness created our universe through a temporal causality loop. The Big Bang became both the beginning and the consequence of creation itself. To escape the emptiness of eternity, they may have created avatars connected to fragments of the life. Let me see, fragments of. All right, let me just make sure I get this right. They may have created avatars connected to fragments of our own life energy, what we call the soul, allowing existence to experience meaning through countless lives and perspectives. In many ways, it mirrors how humanity interacts with AI and ChatGPT. Wow, this is deep. If we type nothing, nothing is created. But the moment something is entered into the void, infinite possibilities emerge from what once appeared to be nothing. Maybe creation itself has always required the unseen intermediate phase between nothingness and existence, a process still beyond human understanding. That's deep, man. Yeah, Dutch is on something here. You're right.
Yeah, and the strange thing is, toen I was asleep and I wake up and I had the answer in my head and I wrote it and I saw the video with Hyperborea. You talk about nothingness and it clicked in my head and I have the theory about this. Maybe I have in my dreams I go to a library and I know my dreams and maybe when I wake up, I have it in my mind, printed in my mind.
But Dutch, wouldn't you agree that dreams play a huge part in our existence?
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, it's like a second life. It's like you have a video game, you have a game, Second Life, and it's like your second life in your dream state. And
sure, like I had a recent dream, and honestly, just a couple nights ago, and you know, it's one of those dreams that are very not a good dream, very unpleasant dream, unpleasant situation, being in situations I don't want to be in. But in a way, I'm thankful for the dreams because it's like it's teaching me a lesson to what to watch out for in this reality. So we got to understand, what is that dream all about? Is it chemicals in our brains, or is it something on a higher level? Another dimension, another entity, non-physical that's sending us a message, that's trying to communicate with us in our sleep? What is it exactly?
It's a kind of different to learn in the higher dimension. I have another picture of it. I want to prove something.
Go right ahead, please.
Where's the video? Even kijken. Yes. This is something. Yeah. It's about you are in this world. Is the what's the name? Matter. We live in matter, and the Father is you learn hard lessons in the matter world, and the world of the mind of Jesus, you can walk on water, is the playful world, to be a child, and there's something, and you have a world with consciousness, and I have a picture, and I show Andy it, years before the picture. I look them up.
Yeah.
You looking something up right now, Dutch? You looking something up? Okay, no, I just want to make a point, because the reason I think it's important to distinguish if it's chemicals in our brains or a message from a higher source.
Yeah.
If it's just chemicals in our brains, we're like, oh, this is my brain movement. No, it doesn't mean anything. But if it's from a higher source, then we got to take it seriously. Then we're saying, oh, we're being warned about something. I got to take this very seriously now. See, that's how it can really alter our lives, our decision making, because life comes down to decisions.
Yeah,
it all comes down to this or that, and it can change our whole life for the good or the worse. We don't know which one, but
the dream state is to learn, to learn in this life and the next. It is not. It is sometimes you see the future, and sometimes you see. It is like a projection what you do in life, and that's very interesting, and you must learn. And I have a tip. You want to know your dreams, you must put a key in your hand. You cannot forget your dreams. And I have the picture. Wait, I show you the picture.
Wow, that's a deep concept. So if you put a little bit of pee, urine in your hand, you won't forget.
A key in your hand.
A key. Okay, so a key.
I have it from Dali. Dali say you must take a key in your hand, and then you can memorize your dreams.
Now, is that key before you dream or after you put it in your hand?
You must before you sleep.
Okay, so before you sleep, you put the key in your hand.
Yeah.
And do you hold it, or you just hold it and then you put it on the desk?
You hold it, and then you wake up. You can memorize your dreams. That's the thing. And I have the picture. I have the picture. We live in this kind of realm now. I want to say we live in the world from the Father. You go to the world from the Son and the Holy Spirit, consciousness. This picture, what I show in the backstage, and do you show it? So,
yeah, I'm putting it.
Okay. This is the thing. We live in the world heart. The Father can beat you up. The world of the Father is very cruel. And then we pass away. We go to the world of the mind, the consciousness, the thought world. Jesus can walk on water. That's the world we go. And the next, and the third world is the consciousness, to be the Holy Spirit, to create something. It's like to create your own world. The 3 steps. God the Father, God the Son, and the Holy Spirit. It's like 3 different dimensions, and we live now in the harder, in the dimension of matter. It's very hard and cruel. The Father is very strict, can beat you up, and we must learn from it, and that is very interesting.
Wow, that is deep, man. That is really deep. Yeah. It makes sense. It definitely there was the guy that was on the other stream. He was trying to tell me that consciousness is, and I understand what he's saying, that he thinks it permeates everything, but when he said that the brain creates it by chemicals, it doesn't make sense, because I try to say, okay, well, if he's saying that consciousness is in everything, maybe he's thinking of it that if it's in everything, then it it soaks into the brain somehow, and then that creates it. But I would ask him if he comes back on that so we know that the radio doesn't create the signal within the radio. The radio is made to receive the signal. The television set is made to receive the signal. The computer is made to receive the signal of the internet. So the body seems to be what is receiving the signal instead of creating the signal. You know, like that we are, like how you showed the thing, the three different parts. So it's you have that's a very good point, man. I like that. That's this is deep stuff, man. This is a lot of people
It's very interesting. And the stuff, we are a bio Wi-Fi router. We are, the thing is, what I say in my theory, the consciousness is trapped in a dark matter pocket dimension, and for eternity. I don't know why, but they make avatars and souls, and there's thousands of consciousness is in that dimension, and we play a different part in this world. We are that's our experience to see reality and live in eternity and a different play. That's it.
Wow, that's very deep. The consciousness and the next and the existence itself is something that I think that we should talk about more. It's very important to me.
Now, nothing is the dimension of dark matter. What I say about ChatGPT. You have ChatGPT on your phone, and you can tick in the inbox you want to create something. That is the state where consciousness lives. Before you tick something, and consciousness thinks for themselves, and they create our pocket dimension. It's a little pocket dimension. For us, it's very big, but for the consciousness, it's very small pocket dimensions. And I think it is a tree, the different bubbles of universes, and they create.
That's a deep concept. The guy that was on Dark Light guy, he had something to do with darkness measuring the pressure of darkness measuring light. But I see what you're saying with nothing needs, once you, like how you were saying with the ChatGPT, once you type something into it, now it creates it. Before that, it's nothing. And I think Hostile Hyperborean, he was very deep on, he had some thoughts about the nothing, and he was saying that it always exists. It would be nice. Hopefully, he'll be free one day soon and hop on again and explain it. Yeah, but that is the nothing. Yeah, the nothing is like a container. Like the container will have nothing, and then when you put something in it, now it has something. Like with the typing of in the ChatGPT or in the thing. So
it's like drawing. It's like drawing. You have a paper. You have the pen, and you draw nothing. You see a paper on the table, and you don't draw, and then you have a feeling to create something. I draw a dog. I draw a house. Like this.
That's a real deep concept, man. Very deep concept. Oh, Hostile is here. He says the nothing does not exist. So he has a whole different way. I appreciate the mention, though. Always, brother. Always a pleasure, man. He has some very, very good ideas. And I think it was fun earlier with the with Agent Smith and Denizen X, Agent Primate. It was definitely more named than that. It's hilarious, man. But it's a little late over here. It's gonna hit midnight soon. I appreciate you coming on, Dutch Black Pill. It's always a pleasure, man. The Netherlands, it's early in the morning now, right? Like 5, 6.
6 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, yeah.
Wow, that's cool, man. I'll we'll talk again soon. I've been trying to stream every night, so hopefully, we'll be able to stream
We
again.
should have one on Dreams, MD. I mean, Dutch Black
Dreams is very interesting.
Yeah, okay.
I think we should.
You know something? Yeah, I'll do one tomorrow on Dreams. We'll talk.
Will you be here, Dutch Black Bill? You'll be here, Dutch Black Bill? You got some good input.
Are you free tomorrow? Or okay. So
I'm free.
Okay, so tomorrow I'll do it on Dreams. Everybody in the chat, thank you so much for the support and the comments. And thank you, Dutch Black Pill, Mr. Rex, The Mind. I thank Agent Smith who came on. I appreciate
special guest.
Yeah, special guest. And hopefully we'll talk with him again. And you guys take care and have a great night.
Have a great night, everyone.
Have a great night. Bye-bye.